Lisa is an innovative, direct-to-consumer online mattress brand that is also socially conscious. In fact, for every 10 mattresses Lisa sells, they'll donate one to a shelter through their 110 program. Not to mention, with a patented universal adaptive feel, Lisa is designed for all types of sleepers. And now, Lisa has expanded its offerings to include the Lisa pillow, blanket, foundation, and frame. Try a Lisa mattress in your own home for 100 nights risk-free. It's available in the US, UK, Canada, and Germany online. It's got free shipping. That's right, this 100% American-made mattress ships compressed in a box right to your door. Or you can try it at the Lisa Dream Gallery in Soho, NYC, and Virginia Beach, and over 80 West Elm stores nationwide. Get $125 off and a free pillow when you go to leesa.com/bombcast.
It's the Giant Bombcast. My T went down the wrong way, Jeff. Intro the show.
Hello, it's Tuesday in, what is it? Hang on.
Brad.
It's May 8th.
We can't say May the 8th be with you. We already did that last week.
Don't, you just fucking did.
You just need some May.
Look, I'm trying to get over the death of Brad, so
Yeah, okay.
How you doing there,
it's a
Bradley?
little sensitive.
Feeling pretty dead over here.
Oh man.
All right.
Which way did it go?
Like, I don't know. In the
Up.
other way.
You said
it went up.
But yeah, I was going to say, which hole is the wrong hole in this
Yeah.
case?
I should just not drink right before, like 20 seconds before I have to say
He
something.
went sideways.
Yeah, that was bad. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Just
Got
Got
it
a little-
together.
one more
Little
deep breath
cozy
here,
chamomile?
and then just...
Too many spices in there.
All right,
Too
3,
many-
2...
It's Giant Bombcast.
There you go. Great.
May 8th.
Nailed it.
Terrific.
Brought it back.
Tuesday.
We brought it back.
Professional
Yeah.
introduction specialist.
Okay. Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
What's up, man?
What's happening?
I don't know.
Not much, man. Just
Yeah,
watching you
it's-
die over
Yeah.
It's
Join
like
me.
every
Join me.
It's nice over here.
every third email I get is
It's calm.
something about E3
Yeah.
internally, externally, all over the place.
Yep.
It's going down the wrong hole.
Yeah,
is
my
what I'm
emails
saying.
have tripled.
Yeah,
At the same time I was choking on my tea, I was talking to Alex about
guest booking stuff.
guests for E3.
Yeah. Well, that stuff's in full swing.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Secret identities.
Emails to people around the company where they're asking things like, "Do you need the
Step
pipe
and
and, the
repeat.
pipe and drape and the
Yeah.
step and repeat for the room?" And they're like, we need.
No, we need a sponsor for the step and repeat.
Yeah, and you gotta have. Yeah, if the
Give me a sponsor.
sales team gets a sponsor, then yes, absolutely. Otherwise, the chalkboard, I guess.
Do you think we can get Donkey Kong on this year?
Hmm.
Do you think he's busy? Because
We ask Donkey Kong every year,
Yep.
and one year they said they were going to send Donkey Kong, and then Donkey Kong had food poisoning and didn't make it.
fucker.
One year he just didn't show
That
up.
sounds like
Yeah.
bullshit. By the
yeah,
way,
yeah, one year.
It's a running gag.
yeah,
now.
at this point,
Yeah.
Cranky
Yeah.
Kong, though, weirdly always down.
Cranky Kong shows up uninvited.
Yeah, he just kind of
sometimes,
stands in the.
and-
He knows where it is. And he just kind
Right.
of stands in the lobby.
Yeah.
and he's like, "Hey,
But then he
you
just
know,
wants to-
I
in the
was
hall,
the original Donkey Kong," and it's
Then he
like
just
that's
wants to
not
come
even
on and
canonical.
grouse about stuff all the time.
Yeah, no, it's like Donkey Kong is all like into big conversations when the cameras aren't rolling, wants to
Yeah.
talk to you about all the influencer events that he had to attend and all this other stuff, and then the minute the camera
He
goes
has
on,
some
he's
choice
just
things
like,
to say about Funky Mode.
Oh
He-
yeah, no,
he does
yeah.
not mince words when it comes to Funky
he
Mode.
is not happy about it.
No,
I think I feel comfortable saying
Yeah.
that Cranky Kong is
I mean he's been out
Yeah.
there on Twitter like
is maybe a little
You get him a couple banana daiquiris and
Yeah.
man, loose lips.
yeah, definitely. You get all the secrets.
He might have a heated gaming moment.
Yeah, no, it's Cranky
not-
Kong is a
if you're not-
walking
if
heated
you're not
gaming
careful.
moment, honestly.
Yeah.
But also Cranky Kong posted that big post to GameFAQs about all of Nintendo's stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it got outed when revealed that his brother doxed him, and now we know the 36-minute Nintendo presentation, all that stuff. It's all out there. It's all out there.
Thanks, Cranky.
Yeah, nice work.
Yeah. You're going to LA next week.
Yeah,
That's how close things are.
That's how E3
Yeah,
is.
where did that come from?
Yeah, I'm gonna go see some E3 stuff here pretty soon.
Judges Week, yeah.
Yeah, and go see some games for E3. Some E3 games.
Yeah.
And you'll bring back all the hot scoops.
That's right. And then not
seal it.
tell
Yeah.
anyone until E3. Yes, sign a bunch of paperwork, and then someone will. There will be tiny hamburger sliders. Some people call them.
Yeah.
Someone
Say
will. At some
hamburger
point.
slider.
Hamburger sliders.
Tiny hamburgers. There's a
See, I mean, you can say slider.
tiny hamburgers.
You just say slider. People know what a slider is.
What sliders.
Harold and
type of
Kumar
slider.
have been to White Castle several times now to give us the God-given right to not have to call them hamburger
Wait,
sliders.
does White Castle do sliders?
Right?
That's
Aren't they, like-
exactly what
Do they
they
not
are.
do regular size hamburgers?
No, all their burgers
They
are
only
tiny.
do
First time I walked into
They
a White
can't figure out how to
Castle.
make them big.
Yeah,
Oh,
first time I walked into a White Castle, I ordered a hamburger, and they were like, "What the fuck
Just
are you
one?
doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I guess I need 7. I don't know." Like,
Huh.
yeah.
Give or take. A box.
Also, these are all terrible.
I was going to ask.
It's like they fucking. It's like everything they used to prepare this food was made out of an onion.
It smells
Yeah,
kinda
what's
like
the- what-
vomit in there sometimes.
what's the
but
standard
there's
loadout?
times that I crave.
The standard loadout is
Crave.
you need a crave case. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need a crave
The standard loadout is lots of onion type. It's very oniony at the White Castle.
A little bit.
What if they cater all these E3 events with White Castle?
That'll be hard because I don't think there are any White Castles in LA. But
yeah.
Be a big
I thought-
expenditure.
Don't they sell frozen stuff?
Yep.
Yeah.
yes, they do.
frozen done.
Yeah.
Really is
Do you
good.
want this E3 to be catered by frozen White Castle hamburger
I don't care.
sliders?
Just it's
Put them on the step and repeat.
just provide cups and a source of water. That's all. That's all I need.
I went to an Army of Two event one time that was catered with In-N-Out. That was pretty good.
Oh, cool.
If you're going to get hamburgers at your
That's
thing.
got that last minute. Oh shit, we forgot to
Yep.
actually do catering.
Yeah.
/ we didn't budget for this. Let's get some food in here. What have we done?
Also, it was at a paintball place,
Okay.
indoor paintball.
Did you stand back to back with someone wearing masks?
Nope.
And,
Oh.
I played Army of Two, ate a hamburger, and left.
Okay.
yeah. Okay. What was
Sounds like a half a good
okay?
day.
What was better, Army of Two, the hamburger, or leaving?
I think I kind of ate the hamburger and left simultaneously.
Oh, that works
So
out
that
great.
went
That's-
pretty well.
yeah.
That went pretty well.
Nothing like it's the great thing about being focused on the video games is that when
Yeah.
they say things like we have a 6-hour event, you can do that in 45 minutes, unless
Exactly.
they've got some scheme set up where it's like, and we're going to rotate you through stations, and it's
Yeah.
going to take 6 hours for you to see
Yeah.
8 minutes of gameplay, and then you're like, okay, well, I booked this time anyway, so I guess that's how it's going to go. Yeah, I don't know. It's gotten. I think events have gotten a lot better. The last like comical event I think I went to was still the Activision event where they showed Zoolander multiple times.
That's ridiculous.
Was there a reason they were holding you there that long?
They
They
had
had technical
against your
problems?
will.
Or?
no, they had booked the room for it was like a large area kind of downtown near the convention center if I remember right. So they had bussed everyone very far away from where all the other events were. And got everybody in a room. It had a stage. They brought out developers of Guitar Hero to play Guitar Hero in front of people. My understanding is that there were no playable games there for the attendees, which the whole point of this is supposed to be that stuff is hands-on. And then I think that was around the time that everyone realized, like, oh, now everyone's here for the next 4 or 5 hours, and we don't really have anything for them to do.
What if they just let you leave?
So I left.
Okay.
I partnered up with a couple of like-minded individuals and said, we're adults. We can get a cab and just go.
Well, everybody else was held hostage.
We don't have to wait for the bus. You can just walk out. You could just go. We've seen what we need to see. We could just go.
Seen Zoolander 1.5 times already.
Well, no. So I think we got out of there before the first showing of Zoolander
okay.
had completed.
I see.
But we were later told that once Zoolander ended, it was shown a second time.
Were they just expecting people to sit there and watch it?
There was a bar, and so they had like domestic beers, and Zoolander.
Domestic beers and Zoolander.
Is this when Zoolander first came out?
No.
Or they just oh
No,
Okay.
no,
It's a different layer
no,
now.
it was not. This was
This was not that many years
5
ago.
years ago, 6 years ago, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, man.
And then I don't remember if it was the same year. I think it was the same year. Like we had an event the following day, and they gave bags to everyone, and there was a copy of Zoolander. Like word had gotten out. Word had already spread about this
They brought
fucking
it,
now
yeah.
legendary event.
Wait, was it a different company?
Yeah,
that gave
a different
you the
company was like,
Wow.
and there's a little something in there for you.
That's pretty good.
That is good.
That might have been. Where was Wes Phillips before? Anyway, whatever. I want to say that he was responsible for that. Anyway, whatever.
Was that Capcom for a while?
Yeah, he
I
was.
think
Yeah,
that's right.
it might have been could have been a Capcom. I don't know if Capcom. Anyway,
I don't know if Capcom has that kind of sense of humor.
but Wes does. So
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah, that's
Anyway,
fair.
I'm not exactly remembering who did that, but I think that was the case. Anyway,
Pre E3.
pre E3,
It's a ball of
it's a goofy time.
something.
But there are a lot of games
Yeah.
to see.
Sounds like a
Between that and the show itself,
Yeah.
and the show itself seeming like it's getting harder and harder to actually see a damn video game there. This pre-show week actually could be a lot more.
despite being open longer this year.
Well, that's yeah,
Show
yeah.
was open till 7 this year.
Right. Yeah. So we have to. We're thinking about logistics into
That's how
when
they-
are we going to start our show? If we have to get guests in and they're on the show floor until
It's a
closing,
little rough for us, yeah.
it's hard for us to do that.
Why
first-
didn't they
first
think of
hour.
us?
I know. That's,
What the
yeah.
fuck?
I mean, is that how they're going to try and accommodate for,
Yeah.
the influx?
Of the
Just
public
open it
being
up
there.
for another hour?
Yeah.
That's
And having it open to press only for a couple hours at the start.
Yeah, the first 3 hours of the first day are press only, which is also I don't think that's useful at all.
Because of the way
Um,
appointments work, right? Where
right.
you're just kind of scheduled throughout the day.
Yeah, like a publisher can only take so many people. You're not going to be able to
like-
see.
I won't be late for my first appointment now. Great, thanks.
Right, exactly.
That's
yeah.
it.
But it does mean that, like, because there were games last year that were only on the show floor, or like EA. So EA had its event far away from the convention center. So logistically, it was hard to get over there and see their games. Their games then later showed up on the show floor at like Microsoft's booth. So like Microsoft had like one Need for Speed kiosk there, and there was a few other kiosks devoted to EA games kind of around, whether it was Sony or Microsoft. And so I was like, okay, well, I haven't seen Need for Speed. I would like to, but the show floor was a no-go. So like one kiosk on the show floor is like, well, I could stand here for 3 hours and maybe get a chance to play Need for Speed,
Yeah.
or just look at it from a distance and go, all right, I got to go. I got other stuff I got to do.
Yeah.
So those situations might be able to be handled in the first 3 hours, but if I remember right, EA's stuff didn't show up on the show floor until like day 2 because they still had their separate event running.
Oh, right.
And so it didn't. It's just the logistics of that stuff are weird. That's E3. It's a fun time with a lot of logistical headaches, and
I'm excited.
yeah,
We're kind of entering a little bit of a dry period for games, so I'm excited to see just like an influx of it's definitely going to be far off, but
yeah,
it's going to be
it's
fun.
like over a month, like from God of War to the end of this month with no major releases.
Yeah.
It's and we probably won't see a ton of news between now and then either, other than people getting their E3 announcements out a little bit early.
Yeah.
And
Also, the biggest stuff between now and E3 is like State of Decay and the Dark Souls remaster and Detroit.
right,
I think that's pretty much it. So
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
light for a while.
Yeah, for big releases for
Three
sure.
pretty
so.
grim games.
Grim in different ways.
Yeah.
But grim just the same. Yeah, so I don't know, man. It's E3 finally felt real to me last week. Last week was the week it all set in. I was like, oh, we're doing this. Like,
Yeah.
This is fucking happening.
Yeah.
Like, we've got a room. We've got
I booked my flight
hotels.
last week. That's
Yeah.
like unprecedented. Like
Yeah.
5 weeks before we're leaving.
it also
Instead of like 2.
it also feels like we are slightly earlier on booking and preparing stuff than I feel like we have been in the past.
Yeah.
So,
Feels good.
I thanked a PR person last week for sending something as early as they did. I was
Yeah.
like, wow, this is pretty early. Thanks.
But I think everyone.
Last 2-3 years, it's felt like maybe the last 2 weeks before the show when most of stuff happened.
Yeah, and I'm sure that all that means is everything we're booking now will have to change.
Yeah.
Someone will come on and be,
Good.
oh, this time slot doesn't work. We need to shuffle this around and do this and do that and do that. Whatever. And Square just announced everything this morning.
Yeah.
They're going to have their press conference as well.
Yeah.
So.
What's the first conference? Saturday, right? What time?
EA.
All right,
EA is first
I'm going
on
to pull that
Saturday.
up. That was in news, but let's just talk about that because we're talking about it.
Yeah.
God.
Let's see. They are at 10 a.m. on Monday.
10 a.m. Monday.
No, EA is Saturday.
Oh, you're talking about? Oh, I'm talking about Square Enix.
Oh, right.
The one that
Okay.
they just announced
Yes.
like an hour ago.
Yeah.
They haven't done a press conference since 2015.
Was that the year they announced Nier?
I think so. That was the year that Yoko Taro came out
Yeah.
in the giant head.
Oh,
and
right,
and
right.
We didn't know who he was.
Yep.
Yeah. Still don't.
And then everyone's
Yeah.
like, why are they making a sequel to Nier?
Right.
Also that.
Yeah.
Also that.
It's like, that seems like a bad idea. Oh, I don't know. It's one of the 9 platinum games that got announced this show, so hopefully this will be.
Yeah, it looks
maybe
kind of cool.
Yeah, maybe this will be the good one.
So,
That lady's pretty.
all right. What do we think for Square? What do they think is a big enough deal to have a new president?
Fantasy.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, they
Kingdom
probably-
Hearts
They probably
3,
think so.
Final Fantasy 7.
The White Castle hat in Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Sequel to The Bouncer.
Now we're
Bouncer
talking.
2, Driving Motion Type S2.
I bet they
Yeah.
think Kingdom Hearts is enough of a big deal.
Hey, it's Kingdom Hearts 3. That's
Yeah,
like
but
that's
carry a whole show.
a lot of people have been waiting for that.
They've also got the new Tomb Raider. They've got
Tomb Raider.
Dragon Quest
Oh, yeah.
11.
They've got the Marvel stuff.
Yes, yeah, Crystal. Isn't it Crystal Dynamics
Yeah.
doing that new Avengers game?
Oh shit! Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that got announced there.
Final Fantasy 7?
Dragon Quest
Maybe.
Builders 2?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because that got announced for Japan, right?
Yep.
Oh, we got it announced ages ago.
Okay,
It just
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
looks like more of that with the hang glider.
Cool.
I
Fucking
mean, that
awesome,
game's
man.
cool, but
But yeah, if you're going to all the trouble to put this
Yeah.
show on,
Sure.
like, it's not going to be some
Celebrate
deep
your
dive
games,
into Kingdom
man.
Hearts. It'll be like a trailer and then
Yeah,
like maybe
maybe.
a little bit more.
They might
So
show a little bit
you've got
more.
an hour. Like you're going to show a 30-second thing on Dragon Quest, even if while you're changing out presenters on stage.
I bet they show more than 30 seconds of that.
They're going to go hard on Pixar for the Kingdom Hearts stuff. They're going to go hard on like Toy Story. Just like, hey, remember
Yeah.
Disney? You know Disney?
Yeah,
We
I know
got 'em.
Disney.
We were working with them.
Oh, cool. Worked out great for Capcom.
They got
so
us.
I'm going to say no more than 30 seconds on the Final
You
Fantasy.
cannot show Buzz Lightyear getting comboed in this trailer.
I'm going to say FF7 remake like a minute tops.
Okay. But like anything
Basically-
at all, I think would be a good sign of life for that.
Sure.
well, that's where they're at, right? Because they came out and said that hey, we what is it?
They
They
didn't-
changed their
say it.
core
Yeah, like they
studio.
pulled
Yeah.
like the developer wasn't.
They changed some leadership, I think, and there were a bunch of hiring listings for like
Yeah.
core positions on that team.
Who was it that was developing that it now is not?
I don't
Well, wasn't it supposed to be
It's also it's
was it
episodic.
a different style every game, every episode, or a different
They
studio every
I don't know.
game? I remember there was a gimmick where every game was going to be
Oh.
different in some key
It's
way.
like 4 rooms, but Final Fantasy VII
Oh.
and the Quentin Tarantino one is the craziest.
Oh shit!
7 hours ago.
Eris dies, but her feet live forever.
Instead of stabbing her with that big sword, he stabs her with the big needle full of adrenaline.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm reading through this new story I just found.
Hmm.
No.
New footage coming, quote, in the near future. With that remake
When was that?
today.
Oh, okay.
Oh, all right.
All right.
This,
Yeah.
this was at the
Them even mentioning it.
this was at the Final Fantasy 30th anniversary exhibition in Japan.
Okay.
Big
so
year
yeah.
for 30th anniversary.
show that at
between that and
E3.
Capcom.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah. E3. It'll be fun.
Yeah. So what's the lineup so far? We've got Saturday. What's,
God.
Yeah,
what's on
EA
Sunday?
is Saturday. We got that email last week that anonymous email, which if that is true, the EA thing doesn't sound like it's actually that. Well, whatever. I want to
Still,
see more of Anthem.
I have fairly strong confidence that email was legit.
Okay.
So
Sources indicate.
yeah.
And that was, what was that? That was Battlefield,
Mainly Battlefield and Anthem.
Anthem, and Unravel 2.
Unravel 2.
I'd like to see a more Anthem.
Yeah, for sure. Like
yes, they have to pitch people on Anthem
Yeah.
and say like, here's what it actually is.
Yeah.
they also I think kind of have to pitch a return to World War II for Battlefield. Kind
Whatever,
of.
that shows itself. You're just
Kinda,
like here's
kind of,
here's people
but-
shooting each other.
Kind of, but they made a lot of those. Like
But they haven't made a lot of them lately.
Do Battlefield games have campaigns?
The
like
last one
single
was
player?
like Battlefield 1's campaign was largely a tutorial.
that's
It
what
was
I
like
mean.
you jumped from character to character, and each one was like, "Now you're the tank guy," and it was like halfway kind of just showing you the ropes of like how to control the video game.
That's what I mean. They've kind of made that game for a while now. Like they
Yeah.
may need to bring something new. If
Oh,
they
I mean, I
get people
agree
back
with
on
you
board.
that like I want
I
more out of
wanna
a
see
Battlefield
something
game,
new, yeah.
but I also don't think they're going to do that.
They may not. But they
Uh,
should.
unless if their battle royale tests check out, then well, whatever. They're in position to be No, I guess not. I was gonna say they're in position to be the first battle royale announcement of E3, but there's a Black Ops thing
Oh yeah,
that they announced. I think.
that's pretty soon, right?
Yeah,
That reveal.
I think so. So maybe they'll do it there. That was the thing. Like, man, yeah, we're also entering that phase where you're just like, I don't know what's bullshit or not.
No.
Because like we're entering like credible leak season, but also like it's very easy to make a bunch of fake shit up. So like there was that Swedish listing for Skate 4.
Yeah.
That
just happened, right?
Right.
Swedish.
It's a
listing?
Swedish retailer
so.
Oh, gotcha.
had a Skate 4 thing with a mock-up of box art. And I don't know if that's real or not because I just saw a screenshot of that. So it'd be very easy to go to some Swedish retailer, Photoshop up a page to say Skate 4, and then send it around. Like whatever. Like I've done that. That's not fucking hard.
Oh, that was you.
That was me.
You're admitting to crimes on this podcast?
It's not a crime.
It's not
to
a
fake
crime.
A leak.
So, yeah. All it took. I should dig up the list. But I don't have that my Google Apps access here very easily. But there was one year that I just like wrote up a list. It was like meant to look like I've told the story a few times, but it was meant to look like something that doesn't actually exist. It was a list of games that were going to have press kits in the press room.
Okay.
Which is something that you would have done at CES in '92.
Yep.
There's no press room like this anymore. But it was just like literally like a list of just like games every publisher had under the guise of like being in a press room. Since no one fucking goes to E3, they don't know that. So it was just like Nintendo list of games, EA list
Mario
of games.
5.
Yeah, basically. But it was half stuff that I knew was going to be announced or like had already been announced, and like stuff that was incredibly obvious, and then like 2 or 3 things that were just like super fucking stupid.
Nice.
And I posted it up and said, here's a fake list I made. It took maybe 20 minutes for someone to divorce it from that sentence and just start passing it around as like legit. So
perfect.
So that's how easy it is to fucking get this shit going. There was also the thing posted at GameFAQs a week ago now that was someone saying Nintendo was going to reveal more details about their online strategy on May 7th. Was the first sentence of the post.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it was the E3 thing is 36 minutes long. Metroid Prime is 2019. They're going to show this. They're going to show this.
Oh, hey.
Ice Climbers will be revealed on the Treehouse stream. Captain Toad for Smash. Like it was just like this list of like breakdown details.
What?
Here is a
That was
story.
one of the.
He's finally getting his shot in the big leagues.
Yes.
We'll see. I mean,
Captain Toad. We need to push Captain Toad. Captain Toad, I think, is the best
Captain Toad's
thing,
a good
the
ass
best
game.
original thing Nintendo has done.
It's a little short.
Like the game,
The concept of it is great.
Yes, the man himself,
Yes.
Captain Toad.
The captain.
He's inspirational. I mean, he like started out like I think
rose
it's
to the rank of
canonical.
captain.
Yeah, he was just some toad,
Yeah.
and now he's traveling around. He's finding moons before Mario.
Yeah. Moons over
And
Mario.
just handing him over, too.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh hey, I know you need a
Oh,
little
here,
help.
man. Like, I don't need this shit.
Yeah, here's this whole thing.
I'm just here for this planet.
But then on top of that, there was something where the guy had posted some other stuff that like seemed to point in the direction that the person's brother was a Nintendo employee. Like, this seems like a thing that is about to fucking blow up on someone real bad if it's accurate.
Oh, man.
And no one. And the reaction at the time was like, all right, well, whatever. This is bullshit.
this is my uncle works at Nintendo.
Yeah. And then they announced the online details yesterday, and now everyone's like, oh, wait a minute. And now like everyone's giving this a somewhat closer read.
I just Googled this, and the first headline came up from Newsweek that says Nintendo E3 2018 rumors that GameFAQs list is fake, guys.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it seems like it would be. Someone could have edited that post after the fact.
Yeah.
All sorts of weird shit like that.
Oh, sure.
But that's the season, right? It's the season where like I'm not actually sure anymore about
take all of the stuff.
a lot of stuff like that.
Apparently, it was fairly easy to deduce May 7th from a bunch of other details that had been out there, according to this story.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah. So
we'll see.
Let's say that post.
Captain
probably
Toad's
isn't
still a good
real.
choice for Smash Bros.
Hell yeah.
We'll see.
But yeah, we'll see. And it's like I feel like we're maybe like a week or two out from knowing a whole lot more in terms of details about the show.
I would say even last week we became aware of some things.
Yes, yeah. We're starting, some details are starting to filter in as we book appointments and
about like who
like
is announcing games.
Like
and
what's
stuff like
this? Like, hey, you're trying to book us for this appointment for this game. Like, at least tell us something about it. All that sort of stuff. So
apparently, Daniel Lingen from EA.
Uh-huh.
I lead EA's player engagement team across EA's HD portfolio.
Uh-huh.
That's his Twitter bio.
Yep.
He tweeted #Skate4 back in like what was it, January?
I have commented #Skate4 on his Facebook posts and stuff before. Like he is very much that dude.
Well, everybody.
But then
everybody
at the
took it to
time,
just
this
be
was
like-
a while ago that
yeah.
he posted that.
Oh, I'm sorry. This was January of last
Yes.
year.
Yeah. This was a very long time ago when he posted
Right about
that.
the time they would have been starting development on Skate 4 if it was coming out this holiday.
Yeah.
Probably.
Can they make a good Skate again?
I don't know.
can.
Like, yes, but what is it? Who's making it? How do they monetize around it?
I'm trying to think of the last time there's been such fervor for a game and it's A, come out, and B, been very good.
Right.
Like a sequel specifically, like for a franchise. Like, because usually they're kind of cast grabby. But I mean, I'm not saying that it's going to happen for sure, but you know, it has to be unique. It has to be a lot of things.
Yeah.
Because
To actually, because people, enough time has passed now that people don't necessarily want what you would have made as a sequel to Skate 3 back then.
Yeah.
They want what in their head is the first time they ever played
that was
Skate.
what, like 2000. The last Skate was like 2009,
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, I don't know. I think that there's a gap for a good ass skateboarding game.
Yeah.
Whether that's Skate 4 or someone sitting down to make a new skateboarding game, which there's been a couple of attempts at doing that.
Ollie Ollie was cool for what it was.
Yeah. And there was that the I Am Bread, the Bossa Studios game that got canceled because they didn't get enough free downloads to their thing. That was like kind of a neat idea.
Yeah, and Tony Hawk 5.
Yeah, that was a neat idea. Man, fucking Tony Hawk 5, man. Like, but that's why there's the gap. You know, Tony Hawk 5 came out and sucks shit. That game still $60, by the way, or still full price rather.
Wow, really?
I returned to Toys R Us over the weekend to see if the deals had gotten any better, and they were still. It was 30% off now on the games, but that was still fucking 30% off of full retail price for Tony Hawk. Still way too much money.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not paying for Tony, you're paying for Lil Wayne.
Exactly. Wheezy F Baby is what I want out of that for sure. So yeah, I don't know. Like between that, I think but also I don't know if the business makes sense. Like you look at it and you have to go like, well, what actually motivates EA to make a game? It's going to be like, there's going to be some semblance of good idea that filters into good pitch that is filtered into a business case of, okay, not only is this a good idea that we know we can make and we know we can crush it or whatever, we also think it will make money.
It can be some kind of service or some kind of subscription or some kind of...
Which Skate as a service, I think, works.
Hell yeah.
Like, that's, you know, if it's like, hey, we're going to constantly and continually add content to this game and new areas for you to skate and level sharing and, you know, whatever it is, like, totally. Like, that's what wants me, you know, that's what keeps me coming back to a game like that is like fresh content. So I think there's room for a skateboarding game that actually has a business model like that if they do it right. But can you actually get enough people excited about a skateboarding game in 2018, 2019? Like, is the audience there the same way it used to be?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
What do you have to do to get there? And I think like
Jaden Smith in it. Put Jaden Smith in it.
Okay.
That's all I got.
I'll step it up. What if you put Tony Hawk in it?
Okay.
You know,
Fuck yeah.
Like I actually think that's the move you make is you just say, all right, we've got a new game coming out. It's called Tony Hawk Skate, and you reboot Skate and you put Tony Hawk in it, and
it's just him on the cover, giving two middle fingers.
It's Tony Hawk saying like, this is real, and or whatever, and it's just fucking, hey, all right, no more fucking pizza guitars. All this fuck Spider-Man. I'm Tony motherfucking Hawk.
Darth Maul is here though.
Yeah, Darth Maul's still here because Darth Maul is just
left.
real. And make a simulation-styled skateboarding game with Tony Hawk's face on it, because Tony Hawk's face, I still think like I don't follow skateboarding as closely as I used to, and so I don't know who would you replace Tony Hawk with?
Riley Hawk.
His son, actually.
Yeah, but like
his son is actually pretty dope.
Yeah, but if you put a game on shelves and it's just like Riley Hawk's Skate, who the
Right.
fuck knows that?
Yeah.
you know, that doesn't already know something
You
about
should
skateboarding.
put Tony in the
game.
back, like waving.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
My son.
The Hawks.
Or actually, that's the game.
Right.
The Hawks.
Yeah, and it's just fucking Tony Hawk going, boy, do a 900. And
Boy, wax this board.
You're
not ready to make that jump.
I would play that game.
And he can recall the skateboard, just like
just
pulling
like
his hand out.
fucking Skate. Like that axe recall thing is stolen from fucking Skate. Like that, you had the move where you get off the board and you could fling it. It was either Skate or it was Tony Hawk, but like
No,
you
there's
would
Skate
hit
and Tony Hawk.
Yeah, you would hit the button and he would fucking hold his hand up and the skateboard would go and magnetize right to your fucking hand.
Whoa.
That was the first thing I thought when I saw that axe. I was like, that's like fucking Skate. That's dope. So yeah, I don't know. I actually think like to market a skateboarding game, and if you want to hit like a mainstream audience, including a bunch of people who fell away from skateboarding or never really knew anything about it at all, Tony Hawk is still the name.
Definitely.
I think so.
Yeah.
And you maybe you put someone else on the cover with him to signify authenticity. To like the people who really do like skateboarding, whoever that is, I actually don't know. And yeah, that's how I would do it. But then, if you're paying that money to Tony, if you're doing all this other stuff, like that's all cutting
Where
into
you expect those
like how do
returns.
you get the money out? And EA seems like a company that is very much like going to ask that question about like how do you get the money out? And the only and I don't know enough about the business to tell you how you get the money out. So then I fall back onto, if you look at EA's reputation over the last year and some of the beatings they took last year over Battlefront and Need for Speed and some of this other stuff, if you do Skate and it loses money, but it's a good game and people like it and people associate the EA name with good feelings, that's still a victory.
That's a win.
Yeah.
But how much is that victory worth? It's like it's hard to assign a dollar amount to that stuff, and whatever. They're probably still focused on the stock price, which is probably doing fine, so they just don't actually care. Anyway, I don't know. Those are the 9 different ways I could see them making a Skate game, and I could I'll just as easily see them not doing any of that.
Okay, either that email is wrong or this retailer listing is wrong. It can't be both.
Right. Yeah.
So,
But also, like, it'd be easy for them to, like, mainly because if you think about the EA press conference and what EA would show at E3, they've been a company that has been moving towards the idea of just like, we're going to try to show games that are coming out over the next year and go a little more near term. So if this is a first announcement of Skate, that could be a thing they throw up and say, yeah, we're doing it, and have a trailer and go that, like, whoever this person that emailed in, maybe they wouldn't know about yet. Because that stuff's coming in hot, or something like that.
Yes.
You know, we're still far enough out from E3 that even those plans, even well-informed plans, can change.
Yeah.
And that's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting not knowing shit,
yeah.
like, or knowing just enough shit to be able to try to weave the rest of the puzzle together, right or wrong. Like I really enjoy, like, the predictions podcast. We'll do another one of those closer to the show and go over some of the stuff we know and some of the stuff we don't.
I hate being wrong, though. Oh, man, I hate being wrong.
I love it. I
We're
love
never
being
wrong.
wrong. It's
Actually,
so much
never wrong.
fun.
I actually like the surprise, so I don't get too caught up in the the rumor mill or anything like that.
Like,
I take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
but
for me, like
I still get excited during press conferences.
the
And
best part
I
about
think that's
being
because I try and remove myself from the rumor stuff.
yeah.
I thought I had intuited a major hardware announcement last week that I told you about,
Mhm.
and then was told explicitly that I was wrong.
Yeah.
That was a bummer.
Hey, what would they want to tell you? What they would tell you exactly that if you were on the. They got to throw you off.
Yes, of course, but it was plausible.
yeah,
say.
you know.
3DO2.
The fun thing about being wrong is that I feel like a lot of the stuff I push to in when I think about what is a company like EA likely to do, it is always driven by the fucking raw ass, like, business shit of just like, what's the obvious choice they would make that they think they could maximize a return on.
Yeah, and that's not
And
fun to
and it's not fun to be right about that shit because that's just like, well, yeah, they did the things a cold ass fucking public company would do. It's way more fun to be wrong about that and be like, oh, fucking cool, they're actually doing something fun and unique and
Yeah, you're right.
and bigger. So I don't know. I like being wrong.
All right.
You do it well.
Thank you.
Are there any current games worth talking about? Or are we just hyped about future games?
Future games.
Unknown games.
I beat God of War.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go back and maybe do some stuff. I'm talking with a few people to find out like if I'm actually missing anything or is like a majority of that side stuff like arena stuff, you know. So
Did you get all the Ravens?
No. Oh, God, did not get all the Ravens. I don't think I'll be platinuming that game. But no, I'm happy I beat it for sure.
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
Still chipping away at side stuff. Enjoying it.
Is there any like goal in mind, or is it just because it's fun?
I mean, there's sweet loot.
Okay.
And yeah, it's fun. And there's some story stuff around each of the quests, like and it's just more like lore stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so they don't dangle some like long-term goal in front of you if you just like, hey, if you go back and do everything, you do this or you get this or okay.
At least I don't. They don't dangle something. There may be something there.
Because I've heard so many people say like, yeah, I beat it, and then I went back and did everything else. And
I think just because like, I mean, for me personally, I'm just having a blast with it. Like once I've decked out all my combat stuff, I feel more efficient in battle. I feel like I'm ready for these harder challenges.
Do they respawn enemies everywhere you go that you've been?
Not everywhere, but sometimes you'll you'll be walking down a path, like even the first path by like your home where you start out, there will be like a hard enemy spawn, like some high level dudes that you don't have to fight, but I really do appreciate those because they're like nice little ways to get my rage built up for the next boss fight I'm working my way towards or side quest thing.
Also, you know, if you're going around trying to get this sweet loot, like if there's nowhere to use the loot, then why do it?
Yeah.
You know, so they have to put something out there.
That's kind of how I feel right now. Yeah, there's not a lot of random encounters, and there was never really a good way to like grind as far as I could find anyway.
Not really,
because I felt underpowered for most of the game, and then towards the end, completely overpowered. Like I have too much experience points now. I've unlocked everything in the tree, and it's like, okay, all right, I got everything now, but what do I use it on?
Yeah. I haven't touched it in like a week or coming up on 2 weeks, I guess.
Yeah,
now.
I've also gotten derailed from it, but I definitely want
have
to finish it.
Have you had any of the fights in the hidden chambers?
Yeah, I did one of those so far.
Those are fun. They can be, some of them can be kind of cheap.
Yep.
But these are kind of like single boss fights that they're spread out throughout the world that you can start unlocking kind of, I would say like 2/3 of the way into the story. Yeah, like some of them, man.
Rough.
They remind me of like really challenging Souls game
Like
bosses.
in a good way? I'm getting a vibe.
I feel
like
very
sort of
accomplished
cheap.
when I beat them.
Yeah.
There was one in particular that I thought was just cheap.
Okay.
Like rapid attacks that I couldn't dodge right. Maybe I was missing something. And in fact, like we did a spoiler cast, me, Dan, and Vinny. You can go listen to that now in the Giant Bombs Presents feed. But we just in the middle of that, we're like talking about our strategies, and we all had completely different ideas on how to beat certain cheap things. So it very likely could be me missing something, but it's not something that's telegraphed in the game. And there's so many different things, so many different attacks and types of damage and stuff that it could be easy to not.
Like maybe one of them would have worked and made that fight different. Yeah, sure.
But the rest I feel rewarded by.
Do they give you any, like, is there any guidance on once you get the ability to, like, open the hidden chambers or deal with those little green orbs? Like, do they start marking that stuff? Because I've seen so many things I couldn't do that I feel like I've forgotten where most of it is.
They do mark the hidden chambers specifically. Everything else, no.
You just have to kind of walk around and look for stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you'll start to see, like, oh, there's a big door here that I haven't opened. Obviously, there's something around that I need to do. And I guess find like one of those green things.
Yeah, I guess any one area is not so big. You can't just kind of go through the entire thing.
Usually that stuff's kind of marked by like a fast travel point as well.
Sure.
There'll be like a little gateway outside, so you can go back to it easily.
Do you get to the, I assume you get to the point, and this maybe reveals that I'm not super deep in, but like I assume eventually you can just fast travel from any one point to any other point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Depending on the time. Sometimes they lock that stuff out for whatever reason.
But eventually it does, okay. Open up.
Cool.
I was very grateful for that because
it is a little restrictive.
Is it a spoiler to talk about the Valkyries?
That's who I was talking about.
Yeah, okay. They're just like, you know.
I feel like enough people have talked about Valkyries.
I mean, there's a trophy for
that's
getting all
true.
killing all Valkyries.
Two human, a big Valkyrie game. So, Gauntlet, a big Valkyrie game.
Minnesota. Wait, is that them? The Vikings? Who are the Vikings?
Yep, that's
Yeah,
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
That's the Vikings. Do they
I
call
love
their
sports.
cheerleaders the Valkyries?
The Vikettes.
Really?
No, I don't know.
I thought you were. I was 100% ready to
Because
buy
like
that.
for a second I was like, that's bullshit. And I was like, oh, actually, you might actually know that. Yeah. I played some Beat Saber.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talking about that.
That's a
Yeah,
VR, VR thing, right?
Yeah, it's a VR thing. It's a rhythm game.
Rhythm game with fake lightsabers.
Yeah, it's a rhythm game. So blocks come at you. The blocks have colored arrows on them that are pointing in a direction that guide you which arm to use and which direction to slash. So like red arrow, like blue arrow pointing right.
So you can
slash
only
it that way.
the way they want you to.
Yes. And then there will be obstacles that also come your way that require you to kind of either step to the right, step to the left a little bit. Big walls that'll kind of come at you. It looks nice. There are other games like this, Audio Shield and Soundboxing, like that are directly this in just different forms. And I think this one looks the nicest, but is the least interesting gameplay.
But how them tunes?
They're not great. Like they're fine. It's like 8. I want to say it's like 8 songs out of the gate. And it's like it comes with its own soundtrack. It doesn't have the ability to import stuff yet. They have a level editor that's supposedly going to ship in some kind of alpha state this week, but I don't know what form that's going to take yet. So I'm kind of on the fence. Like if they do that right, then cool. If they do it wrong, then it's pointless. Because you need to be able to share songs with other people. I think Soundboxing actually does it really well because it just pulls from YouTube. So you search YouTube. You find a YouTube video you want to compose a fucking track to.
Okay.
Then you go through and you place your punches to create the highway. And then any player who searches for that same song or video or whatever can then pull up your created course for it.
Interesting. Okay.
So that's very low touch. It's very easy. It's like everyone is playing the same thing. Audio Shield will try to build leaderboards around people using the same track, and it'll try to detect stuff around that to say like, oh, you're playing the same song that this person played, even if you fucking bootlegged different MP3s or whatever. It'll try to do something along those lines. It's a little less. It's not as good as I think even Audio Surf might have been with some of that stuff. I don't know. I guess I didn't play a ton of Audio Shield, so it probably literally is the same tech. I mean, why wouldn't it be? But and it's also been a while since I played Audio Shield, so maybe some of the stuff has changed.
Just like auto-generated based on like
yeah.
BPM
So
and
this will kind of do that as well. But it might generate a different thing that results in a different leaderboard if you and I are using different versions of a song.
Sure.
Or different encodes of a song in some cases, depending on how that works. Like I said, it tries to do like acoustic ID matching or whatever it is, to try to, create leaderboards and all that sort of stuff. I just think Soundboxing actually finds like a really good happy medium of like players can create these, other players can play them, and there's ratings along that stuff in terms of just like, this is one of my favorites. This person did a really good job making this. What other stuff have they played or done or whatever? Like it's a good thing. Beat Saber just doesn't have any of that, but it looks nice and is reviewing, like user reviews are really high. Like it was like the highest reviewed game on Steam.
That's how I found it because it was like top of the popularity charts.
Yeah, like 6 months ago or whenever they announced it, people were like, "Oh my god, look at this! It's lightsabers!" And I feel like that's the thing still is it's people going, "Look at this! It's lightsabers!"
I mean, did they go all the way?
Do
they make the fake lightsaber sounds?
I don't think
No
so.
sounds?
Well, it's a rhythm game, so you don't want it making sounds.
But that's crucial to the wish fulfillment of swinging lightsabers.
And also, they're shorter than a real lightsaber would be. Like they're they feel a little stubby by comparison, but they also feel to be the right length for playing that game. Like I think they did right by making their concept work.
It's kind of funny that 20 years ago, the video of lightsaber kid just like swinging around, like it's like, oh, look at this idiot, look at this goofball just doing that. Now we're doing that for fun.
Yeah.
Now it's just like weird.
I was doing it for fun then.
I mean, everyone was.
Yeah.
No one wants to admit it.
So I don't know. Like if their level editor comes out and is like really good for letting people create things, but then also share them in a central repository with everyone else who has the game, then I think that will be a huge difference in Beat Saber's favor. But as it stands right now, like I would rather play Soundboxing, even if it's not as pretty, just because it has that content there. But Beat Saber just came out, so it's new and wouldn't have that content either way.
How does that stuff come off as like a workout? Because it seems like there's sort of a community growing around that stuff.
Well, the thing I'd say
around VR workouts in general.
The other thing I'd say that is potentially good about Beat Saber is I feel like the swipe motions are a little bit easier on the joints than the punch air stuff.
Okay.
Where you remember when the Wii came out and people started getting like fucking hyperextended like tennis elbow and shit like that. Like I feel like because you're trying to punch rhythmically, like sometimes you are not following through.
You're snapping
because
back.
you are snapping back and you immediately have to because you have to hit something else. Or you have to kind of move it like this. That seems like it could be very bad on the elbows over time. Whereas I feel like the slash motion, actually there are stabs as well, but generally it's a swipe motion. There's a bit more flow to that I think will be a good workout, but also maybe slightly easier on people's arms. For like kind of long-term use or whatever like that.
That's cool.
So yeah, I don't know. It seems well made for what it is, but like I don't have room in my life for rhythm games with original soundtracks. Like I either want you to go all the way into Rock Band territory and license a bunch of shit so that the game becomes me having the experience of replaying these songs that everyone knows, or I want really good user created tools for people to just like put their own shit in. And so them having like, here's the 8 songs we wrote, you know, highways for in 4 difficulties, like it's fine, but it's just not enough. Like I don't want to do any of those songs a second time.
Gotcha.
But it's well made for what it is. So if this is their starting point, it's strong for what it is. And if they nail the level editor and get some good sharing stuff in there, I think it'll be big. Or I think it will replace soundboxing for me. But until then, like no, it is not the best of its type right now. Which then makes it weird that it is like become such this like hugely talked about thing because I
those lightsabers.
went in going like, well, I like other games like this. I'm ready to play some Beat Saber, and it was like, oh, actually, no, this is everything I thought it would be when they said that they had their own songs and all. It's like, yeah, it's fine. I don't know.
Lightsabers, dude.
Yeah,
people like them.
It was this dumb realization of just like, oh, people are fucking into lightsabers.
Man,
this is fucking dumb.
When I was like 16, I really wanted a lightsaber.
Oh yeah,
I thought about it a lot.
What color would yours be?
Man, I don't know. That's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
Like,
even.
I start to say blue, but then when I think about it, I think maybe green.
I was thinking green too. Yeah.
I don't even like Star Wars, but when they put out those lightsaber toys,
Those replicas,
that you could flick out.
Oh sure.
And it made the noise.
I remember
like I still bought one.
Didn't at GameSpot, didn't Ryan McDonald get one of those like super high dollar replica like light up ones?
Oh, like
They
the
got-
ones
they
that don't
got
extend,
sent- they-
or maybe we just got them in.
They
from
were
the company.
doing because it was for some sponsored bit they were
Okay.
doing for Comic-Con or
Okay.
something, and I remember those
the-
coming in.
like the multi hundreds of dollar
Yeah.
replica.
But then I remember him very much wanting to keep them, and
Mm.
then my understanding was that they thought they were getting them back. Or I don't remember what the end.
People wanted to fight with them, but they were like kind of made for fighting, but not really.
Right? Yeah, people started fighting with them, but then they were like, "Hey, we need these for this shoot for Comic-Con or
these-
whatever.
we
You
need these
can't
to
break them."
Still light up.
Yeah, I forget.
I used to have a lightsaber collection.
Yeah.
Not proud of it.
Collection. A collection.
Used to.
Like yeah,
Like
yeah,
like just the hilts.
just the hilts.
Yeah, like
Best-
you wear them around.
No,
No.
I had them under like a glass shadow box.
Okay.
And then my mom thought like you're too old for this. And I got rid of them.
Man,
Wow.
that's harsh.
Yeah.
I was cleaning out an old cabinet in my kitchen that hadn't seen any action in a long time and found a
Mhm.
butterfly knife.
Sick.
So
Those are illegal in California.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Just admitting
Concealed
more
blade,
crimes
I
on a
take it.
podcast.
I don't know where it came from though.
Same.
You're just holding it
Wasn't
for a
mine.
friend.
Yeah.
I think it is like one of my ex-roommates actually bought a bunch of butterfly knives off eBay, and yeah,
It's not that hard to get.
no,
No.
totally not. You
No.
apparently you can just fucking buy them off eBay and they will happily ship them to California.
Totally.
But yeah, I don't know. I can flip it out,
Sick.
and that's about it. I
You-
can't do
they-
anything really cool with it. But
You too can become a weapons trafficker.
that's right.
When I went into a Toys R Us,
I'm the
I
weapon lord.
I saw that they had a fake butterfly knife toy
Nice.
that had LED lights that looked hella sick, and there was this kid begging, "It's like, Dad, can I get this? It looks super cool." And then I just saw the train going in the dad's heads, like, I'm gonna train my kid to be good with a knife.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Finally, yeah. Get
This
into
kid will
something
be able
cool.
to pull his own weight.
Yeah.
Boy.
Teach them life skills.
I bought a Rubik's Cube and a Tech Deck finger skateboard.
Fuck yeah.
That was it. I almost bought Transformers Devastation because they had copies of that there for $30 and 30% off.
Oh, because didn't they pull that off stores?
I think so.
Off the digital stores?
Yeah. But like did
they have a huge surplus of those Spider-Man drones?
They had tons of fucking drones all
Yes,
over the place,
yeah.
man. That store was rotten with like drones and like beds for kids, not cribs. They had cribs also, but like
Did they have a
child
Batmobile
mattresses
bed?
and
Race car bed.
And if you want a fucking
I almost bought a Batmobile bed for Griffin in that sale.
If you want a Star Wars like land speeder Power Wheels,
Yep.
they've got like fucking 30 of them out there.
Great.
For like $180 or something now.
Roll up
which
in one
doesn't
of
seem
those
low
while you're
enough.
driving your drone around.
Right,
There's
yeah.
like air support.
And be like, I'm the coolest motherfucker here.
I'm the Tony Stark of children.
That's right.
Griff loves those. We could spend like half a day just him playing the Power Wheels section. He loves that
Like
shit.
that seems like they have so many of them that at some point they're going to get cheap enough that like I'm going to fuck up and buy one.
Do it.
Because I was looking at them going like, that seems weirdly cheap. These things were originally like 300 or something, and now they're down to that. Like,
I was always too big for Power Wheels.
Oh.
I never owned one. I never had one.
At what age did you become abnormally large?
It was kind of like when my mom would tell stories of like car seats not being big enough for me, like pushing me around in a stroller, and people being like, "Oh, is your child like challenged that he can't walk on his own?" And she's like, "No, he's a toddler.
Yeah.
He's just very large."
So there was never a time.
There was
when
it was
things
always
fit.
when I was born, I think I was like exactly average weight. And that was it. That was that from that moment on.
Toys R Us also no PS4s. A lot of Xbox Ones.
Which Xbox ones?
They had an X.
Oh, they had
So
everything?
the consoles were only 10% off. And so they had like there was like one X there and like 8 or 9 S's. But yeah, no PS4 hardware there at all.
They're winning the war.
I don't know how to. I don't know,
Toys R Us.
like I don't know how to take that. Like you look at it and go like, like I guess like more and more people interested in getting a PS4 at a discount, and like this
Perhaps.
stuff's just sitting
I mean,
here.
it's
Like
completely anecdotal. But
yeah, I don't know. Getting 10% off an Xbox One X still seems like an okay deal. But I think, I was looking at it going like, that's an okay deal. But I bet it'll get better. Like the store was not enough of a wasteland yet.
Yeah.
That it felt like, all right, now's the time.
gotta
This
bide-
is as
bide
good
your
as it's gonna
time.
get.
You need to walk in there and be like, something burning?
Right. Yeah.
Honestly, the stuff that was like excluded, all the Lego stuff was completely excluded from the sale.
I think all the
but then
stuff there
video
was
game,
like it was like 10%.
hardware,
Yeah.
stayed at like 10% all throughout.
Okay. Yeah, I figured like because hardware, even if Toys R Us goes bankrupt, they can pull that out of there and eBay it for something later or whatever.
Could be.
And probably get it. So they probably aren't incentivized to go too deep on that.
Right.
But like Skylanders had finally
Couple
but they were not
bucks
as cheap. No. So the only thing that was like $1.49 Skylanders were vehicles.
Yeah.
For the vehicle
Superchargers,
one.
yeah.
And the rest of the
that's
stuff
the stuff I'm collecting right now.
Okay, well, if you go to Santa Rosa, there's a fucking whole bin full of just the vehicles.
Okay.
And those are all like $1.50 or whatever. But like the rest of them were just kind of the standard 30% off, 40% off, whatever it was. And so like I was looking at it was like, here's Crash Bandicoot and Cortex, I guess.
Yeah.
In a pack. But it was still marked as a percentage off of $15. And I was like, that's way too much money for this thing shouldn't buy under any circumstances.
Yeah, those sets stayed expensive throughout. So I'm reliving, this as well because the one near me has completely closed down.
Right.
You're going through that right now.
Yeah.
But they finally, clearanced out, like clearance priced that stuff towards the very, very end.
See, I feel like
Like
that's
the
the
Infinity
tipping
sets
point
and
I'm
shit
waiting
like
for.
that.
So the Infinity, if you wanted like the Infinity like starter kit, they had like those for like $3 for
Really?
the Xbox 360 versions
Okay.
for Wii U and 360
Okay.
specifically, not PS4, not the current versions. Those I think were still more expensive than that.
Right.
But there was a minute there where I was like, should I buy Infinity 3.0 for the Wii U for $3?
Right.
And I was like,
know.
that seems like a super low amount of money that I should probably do.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, no, fuck
Yeah.
this. Like, I don't. Who needs this? I don't. I sure as fuck don't.
I bought superchargers for the Wii U because it came with a Bowser figure.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
I almost bought a karaoke machine.
They had a lot of
No,
that
see, that's
shit.
a good
Yeah.
investment.
That's not bad.
I thought about buying. They had a guitar, like a pink guitar,
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
looking at that, going like, yeah. They had a Vegeta figure that I looked at for a little while, but it was really shitty.
Good.
But not like in a way that was just like it had like a hole in his chest that you put a propeller fireball into, and it would shoot out or something. It just looked lame. So like it just wasn't.
My local Toys R Us that's closing, their championship replica belts are not on sale.
Oh wow,
a little bit of a bummer.
The one near me has them for I think 80 or 79, 79 or 69 now.
Yeah, like that's the only thing on the shelves that's untouched because it's not on sale.
I almost bought a. They have a Roman Reigns arm piece that has a button on
cock
it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Like the back of it just says like lock and load, and then you can push a button on it to play the music. And I was like, that seems like a fucking terrible thing. I should definitely get that.
Yep.
And then didn't.
Only if it wets my hair.
Yeah.
It makes me too greasy.
Yeah.
Would I buy it?
Right. So I figure I'll come wait a couple of weeks and see if they've.
You can cosplay Roman Reigns and then go play laser tag if you wanted to.
I almost bought laser tag guns too because that was
Wow,
like
they still sell those.
It's not. It's a different brand,
Okay.
but like they had multiple brands of laser weaponry there. And I was like, man,
I thought that
laser
stuff
tag
had
is so fucking dope.
Yeah, it's cool. I thought that stuff had all shifted to like centers.
I had a little laser tag one player kit where it had a little robot that ran around.
I had the same one.
Chase it around.
I had
and
the same
shoot it.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents thought since I was an only child, like, hey, just play with this robot.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Robot can be your friend.
I also had the robot at one point. It was sad. It was sad.
It wasn't very good
Sad
at
robot.
running away.
No.
It was like a Roomba. It was like chasing around a Roomba.
I was like, I was a pretty good shot. That thing barely moved.
I had carpets, so it didn't move
Yeah.
well at all.
Yeah.
They should sell a little
barrel.
like shirt or something you could put over your pet, like your cat or your dog.
Right, yeah.
And then like I'm not saying hurt the animal, but
Shoot lasers at the
You
animal.
gonna shoot your cat with lasers? Cruel.
They love that.
haven't you been on the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're into it.
The only new game I played that we haven't talked about at length was City of Brass.
Mm.
Did you play any of that? You were
No,
talking about
no.
it. It's first person roguelike.
Okay.
Set in like it's got like an Arabian theme. It's like very Aladdin. You got a blade in your right hand and a whip in your left hand, so you can kind of both use them both, not quite at the same time.
That
but
seems like because if you fuck that up, you cut your whip in half. And you're like, whoa, shit.
But the whip is kind of cool just because it feels really good to crack it in first person. But if you headshot enemies with it, they stun.
Oh,
and they
neat.
start stumbling around. So you're basically running around every time you see enemies coming at you. You just start whipping them in the face.
It's fucked up.
To
Can you
stun them.
grapple with the whip?
Yes, there are. I haven't seen many uses for it yet, but
Okay.
there are grapple points you can swing on.
Cool.
So
You
what's
also,
ki-
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna ask what kind of the layout of the game is. Is it like you're in like a palace going through levels?
You're in a city. You're trying to get to the center
Okay.
of the city. It's like a haunted city full
Is
of
there like a
genies
bunch
and
of
stuff.
platforming?
Not that I've
or is
seen
it
so far.
mostly
It's mostly just combat.
ground-based
There's tons of
combat?
traps everywhere. There's like spikes that'll come out of the ground and like stuff that'll shoot out of the walls
That
and like
seems super
exploding
dangerous.
barrel type stuff. You got a shove move, so the traps are bad for you, but you can also shove enemies into them. So
Sure.
like you can like group skeletons up and then shove them into the spikes and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. Use a whip to pick up money, which feels really good. Just go around whipping all the pickups everywhere and like
Yep.
hear a cash register
Works
sound.
for Simon Belmont.
Yeah.
Actually, it doesn't. He can
Not
whip the
really,
candles.
yeah.
He can't whip the money.
And it seems like there's a ton of gear. There's like genies throughout the levels that you can trade money for better gear from, or I think you maybe find it sometimes. Like the game seems really bare bones because like there are no descriptions on any of the weapons you can buy before you buy them. So you just kind of have to guess at the name what it might do.
Mm.
And even when you get it, they don't put stats on anything. It's just like they suggest that how much more powerful it is, but you don't really know.
Okay.
Is there any sort of carryover?
Yeah.
There's an XP meter. I didn't hit level 2 yet, so I don't know what happens. But you earn XP every time you die, and that's it.
Okay.
It's like really simple and like I said, kind of stripped down. Like the menus are sort of clunky, but like it looks nice and it plays pretty well. Seems like there's some cool stuff to do with pushing enemies and traps and so forth.
I'm curious
Yeah.
about the roguelike elements.
Yeah, it seemed like there's a ton of items, but like
Yeah.
I did 2 runs and I got the same level, same starting level both times. So I don't know if the levels are the same every time
Oh, weird.
or not. But the second time I opened a treasure chest and it was full of poison gas instead of money.
Oh,
And
great.
I lost most of my health. So yeah.
The ultimate currency.
Yeah.
Can you
The
whip
blockchain. Gotcha.
Can you whip the chest to see if it's poison?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good idea. Should try that.
I hope
What's
so.
what's this out on?
I know it's on
Xbox
Steam
One.
and Xbox. I
Yeah.
played the
Okay.
PC version. I think that
Oh,
might
so
be
it's
it.
not early access?
No, it's out.
I just assume every indie game is early access, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody play anything else?
Fired up Destiny on the PC.
Oh,
Yeah, Humble Bundle's got a deal right
Yeah.
now. You do the monthly thing,
almost
like
put that-
$12 or whatever, and
almost
it's like
put
you
that
get
Humble Bundle
Destiny.
thing in news.
Yeah,
Maybe is I don't know if I want to assume too much about how well Destiny is doing,
right.
but they are selling it for $12 on the Humble Bundle.
Yeah.
But-
Plunked the money down.
But
Sure.
there it is.
Just
Is
do
that just the PC version? They're not.
Yes.
They're not also selling console for that price.
Yeah,
right?
it's activated on the Blizzard.
Okay.
site,
And
so it's
does
just
that come with
PC
the
mode.
DLC stuff?
No, it
or-
does not.
Okay,
Yes,
so they're
yeah.
basically
Buy
just
that
trying to
separately.
get it out there to
Exactly.
try to get people to buy this new expansion, which is coming out tomorrow.
But yeah, this is the first time that I played it. Yeah,
today.
on PC.
Today,
And man,
yeah.
it plays really, really,
Yeah.
really good.
That's a heck of a port.
Hell yeah.
It's very solid.
I fired that up for a few minutes yesterday, like thinking like, oh, I should see if this is patched up, and I forgot where I left off on PC. So should I play this? If I were to play this new content, where would I play it? And then I think I played enough Destiny to maybe not look into that new stuff for a little bit.
Right.
So like, all right,
I want to
okay.
see it. I should patch it up, update everything tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to try that stuff, but I didn't even finish the last DLC. So
I did.
Yeah.
And came away from that going like, all right, that was pretty in a couple of spots, but
Yeah.
not really a story that I'm looking for. Not really the story stuff I'm hoping to get out of Destiny content.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I want weird space mystery, and it was not really delivering that.
yeah,
And this sounds
it
like
was
it might
weird
have
space prefab worlds.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was weird.
that is out today though. Last thing, a little housekeeping. We don't usually run corrections because we tend to be right about everything always.
True that.
But the State of Decay developer got in touch and wanted to let us know that there is an offline mode in the game.
Yeah.
that
Oh, cool.
does let you pause.
Cool.
They were not running that at that event, but you can start it in a fully single-player offline mode.
Okay.
That's
So you-
good to
so-
know.
So then
Yeah.
you can't do the drop-in co-op that way. But,
All right.
But you can pause. So there you go. They also said you mentioned something in the video we did about not being able to bring resources back to your world. They said you can funnel resources.
Okay.
To your stuff. So
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Incentivizes a little more for that co-op stuff.
Yeah.
It's good to be wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
I guess.
we love being wrong.
Hey,
Correction, we're never wrong.
yeah. While we're talking about housekeeping, premium sale starting on the website
Sweet.
this week. Tentatively tomorrow, I believe tomorrow.
Cool.
So if you're looking to check out Giant Bomb's premium offering, that'll be available at a discounted price starting Wednesday.
Details on the site.
Details will be on the site. You can
All
go to giantbomb.com/upgrade for more for a way to upgrade.
All right. Good to know.
Yeah.
And with that, let's take a break.
You know, dealing with contact lenses, like the process of getting them, it sounds like a real hassle.
Getting them in your eye?
No, well, that scares the bejesus out of me, honestly.
Oh, it's
but,
great.
But the process of just like, hey, let's make sure you got enough contacts
Yeah.
to put in, and going through all the process of all that stuff.
Take it from me. Don't wear them longer than you're supposed to, just so you don't have to buy them as often.
Okay,
That's a bad way to go.
okay. That sounds like a bad way to go.
From experience, I can tell you.
You know what a good way to go could be
What's that?
is getting that contact lens prescription renewed right on your couch in under 5 minutes.
Oh. You mean I don't have to like keep a paper with a bunch of measurements on it? Take it to a place?
No.
And, like
No, you can
contact lenses are weirdly highly regulated.
well, you can use Simple Contacts.
Oh.
It's an app, and it'll let you renew your prescription, reorder your brand of lenses from anywhere in minutes through an online self-guided vision test. Every test is designed and reviewed by doctors, so they're like literally bringing the doctor's office to your home.
Huh. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna fit in there. But
Well, let's maybe just get a bigger home, or maybe it'll be a tiny doctor's office.
Ever get your eyes
an,
checked?
It's an app, so it has been a long time
Those-
since I've had my eyes checked.
it's a lot of machines.
Yeah,
It's a lot of stuff. A lot of boxes to look into.
and think of the time you'd be saving instead of like making an appointment. This is, I mean, you know, yeah, going to an eye doctor. You know, take it from me. You go to an eye doctor and you walk in there and be like, I want to get my eyes checked. It says here, walk-ins welcome, and they're like, yeah, why don't you walk in about 2 weeks? And
your eye doctor is real so and so.
yeah, I guess so. Well, it's just crazy, a crazy time commitment. These contact lens prices are also unbeatable, and the vision test is $20. The shipping is free.
Wow.
But remember, this is not a replacement for your periodic full eye health exam.
Right.
You know,
Sometimes you got to go in there and have them blow that little puff of air into your eye.
exactly. You're going to need to get some stuff done from time to time, right?
Yep.
They only test that the current prescription still helps you see 20/20, and then they'll renew that prescription. They don't write completely new prescriptions or examine eye health or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's got convenience and savings, which goes a long way. You can save $30 off your first Simple Contacts order by going to simplecontacts.com/bombcast or enter the code bombcast at checkout. Again, that's simplecontacts.com/bombcast or just enter the code bombcast at checkout for $30 off your contacts. Huh.
Plastic in your eyes.
Yeah.
News crew assemble.
I'm here.
We're here.
Hello.
Present.
Prepared for battle.
Jason decided he did not. The news made him feel ill,
Ready for news battle.
and he ran off.
Yeah, Jason had to step out.
Yeah.
He
Breaking news:
Is-
Jason had to step out.
is not in the room, but we can handle this.
All right.
Hit me.
All right.
All news is good news.
We're geared up and ready for news. As we alluded to earlier, a bunch of details on Nintendo's online service dropped last night.
Yeah.
As foretold by the prophets of GameFAQs.
Let me tell you about the profits of GameFAQs.
Yeah.
Stacking it up over there.
Oh, yeah,
No,
for sure. So, it's called Nintendo Switch Online.
NSO.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
The pricing tiers for a single person, like single membership, for 1 month, $3.99. For 3 months, $7.99. For 12 months, $19.99.
Okay.
They are also doing a family membership for $34.99 that lets up to 8 different people use the service.
And this is across different hardware, right?
On 8 different Switches, yeah.
Oh, so I can't.
With a family membership, up to 8 Nintendo account holders will be able to use the Nintendo Switch Online service, even on different systems.
So on the same system, I need individual plans for between.
Oh, you mean if you...
profiles? Like my
Hmm.
partner has the Switch profile.
That's a good question. I don't know how that's going to play out. They don't explicitly address that?
Yeah.
If it's like the other systems, like Xbox and PS4, if the main person on the console subscribes to it, other people on that console can also use it.
I thought that was just Xbox, and the PlayStation stuff actually doesn't. You don't share your online status.
Oh, maybe
but
it's
your
not the
game
online stuff. It's
purchases
just
are
the game.
shared.
Yeah, I think you might be right, actually.
But
on
I think
PS4.
the gold stuff transfers
I think
across
yes.
other accounts
I think
on
that's-
your home Xbox.
That's right, I believe. So if you really want to do the legwork and get 7 other people together, you could get this thing for less than $5 a year.
Hmm.
But yeah, even an annual subscription, it's less than $2 a month. So not that bad.
No.
It depends on what you get.
Okay. All right. Here's the good news. They're adding cloud save support.
Cool.
You can
That's
save
great.
games in the cloud. Here's the bad news. They are charging you for cloud save support.
That sucks.
Yeah. Or, I mean, whatever. I could see them charging for cloud save if there was also a way to back them up manually for free.
If this doesn't come, if this doesn't happen alongside, and for those of you who are not subscribing,
Yeah.
we've got another
Here's
mode, another way for you to back your saves up, transfer them, do all that other
USB,
stuff.
Like, there's freaking USB ports in the side of the dock. Just, like, make it so you can back up saves so USB.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, how about that?
Why not?
Why not?
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
That PlayStation does it.
Well, if PlayStation does it, then I don't know. I feel like every time I stick a USB stick into a PlayStation, it just fucking doesn't read it, and it's been that way since the PS3.
So you got to use exFAT.
Right? Yeah. It always comes down to just like, well, how did you format the stick? And I said, apparently the wrong fucking way. I'll go back and format this thing to FAT32, I guess.
No, it doesn't like FAT32.
All right.
Yeah, exFAT is the way to go. Let's see. So yeah, you're gonna get. Also, there's this. Here, I'll read their wording. By using Nintendo Switch Online, a backup of Nintendo Switch save data for most Nintendo Switch games will be stored online for easy access.
Good call.
This is great for people who want to retrieve their data if they lose, break, or purchase an additional Nintendo Switch system.
That's their words. If they lose, break, or purchase another one,
Yep.
like that's the It's a great option if you think your
Yeah.
shit's gonna fucking stop working someday.
Yeah, if you think
Because we haven't found a better way, like a good offline way for you to back up your saves.
if you think somebody is going to steal your Switch from you, you should subscribe to our service as insurance.
Did they say most?
Sure would be a shame.
Yes, that was the other thing. Yes, most Nintendo Switch games.
Zelda doesn't work weirdly enough. Oh
Yeah,
well.
it's like Zelda,
Yeah.
Mario,
Yeah.
Mario Kart.
Yeah.
For some reason, we couldn't get these to work.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish there was a little. It's kind of like the video capture feature also worked with like most games, but not everything. Like that's kind of.
I didn't realize that was most games. I thought
Yeah.
that was like 2 games.
The video capture.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've added more. I think when it came out, it was a handful or
Yeah.
something.
Alright.
Yeah, I wish there was a little more info here about like here's which ones won't work or here's why. Or
Yeah.
Anyway, it's better than nothing. It's not ideal.
What else do I get?
How about 20 Nintendo Entertainment System games?
Oh.
Anybody?
Which 20?
All right.
Hang on. I'm trying
And
to
do I own them?
Yeah.
How do I?
no.
what are
Hey,
they-
how about Super Mario?
Do you like Netflix?
no.
Would you be interested in a Netflix for Nintendo games?
Yes.
Okay.
I saw Mario 3 was on there. I
Oh.
saw Mario 1.
Allow me to introduce you to the very snappily titled Nintendo Entertainment System Nintendo Switch Online.
Just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Nintendo Switch Online subscribers will have access to NES Nintendo Switch Online. That's the name of the service. So let's see.
NES, NSO. All right.
The collection will initially include 20 games, with more added on a regular basis. At launch, previously announced games Balloon Fight, Dr. Mario, and Super Mario Bros. 3 will be joined by Donkey Kong, Ice Climber, The Legend of Zelda, Mario Brothers, Soccer, Super Mario Brothers, and Tennis. An additional 10 launch games will be announced in the future.
Such as Golf, Mock Rider,
Hmm.
Wrecking Crew. I don't know. Yeah.
So, do these? How do these work? Do you gain access to play these, and these are constantly changing?
Yeah, they don't go into a lot of detail there.
It says they'll have 20 at launch and they will add more over
Yeah, it
time,
doesn't
but
say-
it doesn't say anything about subtracting them.
In fact, I think because when they originally announced the service like 2 years ago, that was the plan. It was
Yes.
like you'll have like 3 games a month, and then the next month you'll have 3 different games. And I think they explicitly walked that back.
I'm just hoping because they're like obviously front loading this with Mario 3,
Soccer.
Zelda,
Yeah.
the games you want to play from the NES.
Ice Climber, of course.
Dr. Mario.
Yeah.
Dr. Mario's cool.
You get to
It
hear the
is.
Dr. Mario
You can-
song
hey,
anywhere.
Check it
I
out.
can listen to Fever and Chill.
Dude, those are good tracks. Online Dr. Mario.
Yeah.
For the first time ever, players will be able to enjoy these classic NES games online.
Not true.
Not the first time, but okay. Yeah.
Depending on the game, players can engage in online competitive or co-op multiplayer, or take turns controlling the action. Friends can even watch each other play single-player games online and, quote, pass the controller at any time.
That's cool.
NES games will support voice chat via the NSO smartphone app.
Cool.
It will
Oh,
also
the
be
NES
it will also be
NSO?
possible to play these games offline,
All right.
just in case you were wondering.
Okay. That's.
Um,
I like the internet,
I-
but what if I don't have it?
I wonder. I would like to see some more. I almost thought they had alluded to this. Some more like online features around single-player games. Like, I don't know, say some kind of leaderboard for Zelda. Like, come up with some cool idea
Yeah.
for like
I mean, that might be
speed runs or something.
that might be in the games to come.
Maybe.
They now can design around knowing what the capabilities
Yeah.
of their online system is.
Sure. Like, I'm not expecting them to like.
And
add-
also, they've got a business reason to like further enhance the value of
Yes.
this paid
Yes.
service.
Yes.
So they'd maybe be a little more inclined to do stuff like that. But
Because like Mario
a
had that to a
leaderboard
degree.
that only works for paid members is a shitty thing.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I wonder if
Well-
like that Mario leaderboard of your friends like times on the races
Yeah,
and
stuff
the
like that
jump
would-
rope jumps
yeah.
will.
That stuff would be cool, but
That's the stuff I'm
like,
talking
or
about. But
more,
you'd have to be a paid member to play it in the first place. So unless you think they're going to sell these things piecemeal,
I wonder if they will.
I doubt it.
The games,
I
the
highly
NES
doubt it.
games.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, probably
I don't
not.
think
You're-
so.
I was thinking about like just Switch games in general, not just these NES games, but just like overall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I would.
I'm specifically talking about these NES games.
But yes,
It'd be
yeah, for
cool.
those games, yes, leaderboards would be cool.
Like I'm basically thinking
Uh,
of those 3DS releases where they added 3D to stuff like Excitebike,
Right.
And like that was a neat little enhancement. Like it'd be cool to see some stuff like that,
Yes, online leaderboards for NES games is a cool thing.
Yeah. or
Already.
or something else. Like, well, yeah, whatever. I mean, come on. They're
Now
trying
you
to
can do it on the go.
they're trying to justify this service. Yeah, of course.
All I'm saying is I think I'm like number 16 or something on the balloon fight, balloon trip
All right.
leaderboards for May right
Yeah.
now. So Still May.
Of course, they mentioned that you will have to have this service if you want to play any of the online games online after September.
Including Splatoon.
Yes,
Like games that are already out will.
They mentioned by name Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, ARMS,
Smash.
Mario Tennis Aces, Sushi Striker.
No, Smash isn't going to have any online, weirdly enough. They just decided it was just done. It's not going to have any multiplayer at all.
It's all single-player campaign.
Yeah.
Subspace Emissary 2.
Subspace Emissary, just like 40 hours of it.
You know,
That's the Smash Brothers game I want.
actually,
Yeah.
as a big-time Smash, hey, if they released a standalone, like,
Yep.
if it was well written, because that Subspace Emissary had some moments.
It was cool.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. I mean, it's really cloud saves and NES games. Like that's kind of. I mean, obviously the multiplayer if you care about the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like, that goes without saying. But in terms of extra features,
I'm trying to think just like
It's
over the
those two.
years, like modern era, how many games on Nintendo platforms did I play where internet connectivity actually did anything for the game that I like cared about? I always felt like, oh, online Mario Kart, that's a cool thing that exists, but I don't really care.
That kept GameSpy alive for
Right.
like 4
Yeah,
years.
yeah. Like Splatoon is kind of it.
Yeah, Splatoon and Smash are the only ones I can think of.
Did you play a lot of online Smash?
I was playing back in Brawl,
Okay.
because it was novel at the time. It was
Yeah.
like, whoa, I can play Smash against other people online.
I remember when Smash came out on 3DS, I was like, it's cool that I can play a game like this portably and on the internet.
Yeah.
That's a neat idea.
Yeah.
And I did that 4 or 5 times and was like, okay. But I feel like Splatoon is kind of the one.
Yeah.
Mario Maker. You know, kind of a different type of online support. But,
I wonder if they start locking stuff like that up behind this.
well, if you
like
do that, then
sharing.
Mario Maker shouldn't exist. Like that's because
At that point, they probably don't want to constrain their own ability to sell the game to only people paying
Right.
for the service, right?
yeah.
So you could
Because
see
without being able to play, if you had to pay an additional fee just to get access to other
Yeah.
users'
that.
levels,
Like, why
then,
would you buy?
then Mario Maker is something you only sell digitally, or
Right.
you give it away to your existing members as
Yeah.
some stripped down thing. Like it's hard. It's a hard sell.
Same goes for stuff like there will probably be a new Animal Crossing at some point,
Mhm.
and
Right.
you probably will be able to I don't know, trade items with people and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
I
are they
have
gonna-
I have played Animal Crossing
Like,
online.
are-
I guess
yeah.
there have been times like it's never felt like crucial, but
But that's another one. Like that's not quite online multiplayer. So are you going to lock that behind the paywall?
oh right, sure. But they've done like live multiplayer in Animal Crossing. Like you visit other people's towns.
Yeah,
like
sure,
that's
sure,
been there all
sure,
along.
yeah.
So there's that.
I don't know. This all goes down a lot easier because it's less than $2 a month.
Right.
that's-
yeah.
If it was 50 or 60 a year for this feature set, but
Yeah, I don't
the
think
price,
I
it's-
would pay it. And yeah,
Like-
I think if this was price matched to Xbox Live and PSN, like I don't think I would pay it.
but I don't know. It's worth $1.80 or whatever it is to me to have those NES games
Yeah.
on my Switch.
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm that is something I will definitely sign up for a year and see how it goes. Like I hope that they rapidly expand that offering,
Mhm.
and it's not
Yeah.
just like 6 months later they're like, here's 3 new games or something weird like that.
The big one for me is if they ever start getting into like other consoles.
Sure.
Like, say, do Super Nintendo games ever come to that platform?
Right.
Well, it is called Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo Switch Online.
Yeah.
If they were to then roll out a Super NES, Nintendo Switch Online.
Done. There, you just named it.
Yeah.
It could work.
Man, I'm just giving the stuff away.
Yeah.
Should just call the next console the Super Switch.
That's not a bad direction.
That kind of sounds cool.
Actually,
would it just be bigger?
Yeah.
All right.
in that vein, Jason Schreier reached out to Nintendo about Virtual Console, and they actually gave him a comment, which is, there are currently no plans to bring classic games together under the Virtual Console banner, as has been done on other Nintendo systems.
It's dumb that this is a story.
Kinda.
Yeah.
It's like fucking stupid.
Like,
I
of
mean,
course, it's called. It was an old.
Because like that's been the thing people have been like, when's the Virtual Console coming? How come they haven't said anything about Virtual Console? They keep talking about these NES games they're bringing, but where's the Virtual Console? It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like this is like that's just a dumb brand name
Yeah.
that was like, hey, we're gonna sell these games, and it's kind of a loose thing umbrella for them. But it was never. That never seemed like that important of a term. It was always,
for sure.
So like the idea of just
I don't
like,
know. I took it to mean just shorthand for, hey, are you going to sell your old games again?
Right.
That is a valid question.
But then they're announcing this other thing that's like, here's a different way that they're doing it, and you're like, okay, all right. That's the important thing, is just like, are these games going to come? Yes or no? And it sounds like if they're tying it to this subscription service, that at least gets them out of the more awkward conversation of people may have purchased these games 2 or maybe even 3 times for different Nintendo platforms over the years.
Weren't they like offering discounts at one point?
Yeah, if you went from Wii to Wii U for some of that stuff, there was, you only had to pay a little bit. Like, fuck, what?
Yeah.
Or you could play it, and you'd have to boot into the Wii. If you did a system transfer Wii to Wii U, you could go to the Wii system menu and play stuff there, I think, is how that worked. Or you could, upgrade them to full-fledged Wii U executables for $1.50 or whatever, which just like, come on.
Some good console design.
So, I don't know. Like, the Virtual Console always seemed like a brand name. It always seemed like a dumb brand name.
I never expected Virtual Console, quote-unquote, to appear on the Switch, but you could see them doing something with some of those old games.
Totally, of course.
Start selling
like, naturally, of course they would do that.
Yeah.
But the idea that, like, there had to be, like, Virtual Console, like people getting hung up on the term, just always seemed really backwards to me. So,
they got a lot of old games, though. They're not going to put them all on that subscription service.
No, I mean, they couldn't. So. They, the rights involved. Like, I don't even know if they could put Popeye back out. Or, then that's a game that's of that vintage of NES game.
Batman.
They didn't. That's not Nintendo. So when do third-party games happen? How do those conversations work? Because third parties would love to do this and sell their games again. But if it's suddenly like a value add for this existing service that is not at a high price point, nobody's what's the cut for Konami?
Nobody's picking up the phone over at Sunsoft. I don't know if we're going to be able to do Batman.
Yeah. Bummer.
Yeah. That launches in September, so that's soon, actually.
I guess it is. That's scary.
That's pretty soon.
All right.
Well, not,
Yeah.
Got a few months.
So you figure Smash Brothers has to launch in September then?
Yeah, that seems like literally the same day, right? Probably is the way to go.
Like if you're not doing that, then what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, or maybe launch the service like a week ahead of time.
Just to make sure kinks get ironed out.
Give people time to sign up and be ready. Put a voucher.
Get that phone app downloaded.
Yeah, put a thing in the box saying like, "Hey, it's you sign up for blah, blah, blah."
Oh yeah, like a free
give you like
day trial,
free, like 14-day trial or something like that.
They've already given Splatoon owners a multi-month trial.
Yeah. Yeah. play all the free Splatoon you can while you can.
That feels bad.
Yeah, kinda.
Like they were reasonably upfront about like, hey, we're eventually rolling out a paid service.
Yeah, but there's always going to be people who just like buy the game at retail and don't see that stuff. Like I doubt they were putting slips in the Splatoon box saying like, "Hey, you've got
one day you're going to have to pay money.
You've got roughly a year to play this online before we start charging you."
Yeah. And also, man, that game, like, I mean, I know they added like single player stuff to that game and all that, but
it's mostly online.
Yeah, that game, if you're not paying for that service, seems pretty thin.
Yeah. Well, and then they are adding that big campaign, that agent, whatever.
But that's a paid thing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's at least offline.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's see. In other news, the FTC is going after console makers about warranty stuff. Specifically about basically the language in everybody's warranty that says like, hey, if you open this thing up within your warranty period, your warranty is now void.
Mm-hmm.
That's no longer allowed.
Cool.
And they have got 30 days to update their terms of service or warranty language.
Sometimes you got to crack that thing open and blow the dust out.
That's right. Actually, you can do that on a PS4 without voiding your warranty.
Because the
top panel just
top
pops
panel,
off
right.
without you going after that sticker. But the sticker is specifically what they are up in arms about.
Yeah.
Like having stuff on there saying like, hey, if you break this, your warranty is done is not legal.
Good.
Stupid.
At this point.
Yeah.
And yeah, they say that there will be legal action if they do not comply.
All right.
Within 30 days. So there you go.
Nice to see a little accountability every now and then.
Take your consoles apart all you want.
Hell yeah.
You're going to fuck them up, but
you'll still be under warranty.
Covered.
Actually, I don't think I own any console that's under warranty
me
anymore.
neither.
Yeah. In other Nintendo legal news, they're getting sued by Game Vice again for patent infringement.
What is Game Vice?
Game Vice is the thing you've probably seen that like...
Oh, it's the phone.
It's the two controllers that bolt onto... I don't know if it works on a phone. It definitely works on a tablet. All the pictures I've seen of it are on like an iPad. but it's basically two kind of Joy-Con looking things bolted to the side of like an iPad
Okay.
to play games with.
All right.
They have a patent on controllers that slide onto the side of a device.
Huh.
They brought a suit against Nintendo. When was it? Gosh. Trying to find the date. I think it was last year or sometime.
Yeah, I think it was like a year ago.
I don't remember this.
I cannot find. But it's because they withdrew it quickly.
This
I
was around the time I started.
really wish the
remember.
thing I used for these notes let you highlight things. Anyway, yeah, they had filed a patent infringement suit and withdrew it, and now are refiling it in a different district of California. So
Okay.
legal experts weigh in.
Guilty.
That sounds.
Got him.
I think it's innocent.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing to patent, considering there is a long. Well, maybe they just patented it and they're the ones to do it. But I was going to say, there's a long, rich history of people bolting dumb shit to phones.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a thing for just like a Verizon flip phone that actually plugs into it and puts like controllers on either side of it, and that's from years before this Game Vice thing.
Yeah, but if nobody thought to
But
patent
if they
it, then-
patented it,
yeah.
then I guess that's how it works.
Okay, here it is. So August 2017 is when they sued last year.
Okay.
So it's not been that long, and they withdrew it after 2 months.
Just another classic example of patents holding up their original intent.
Yep.
The story from Polygon that I'm reading points out this is not really like a patent troll case because they are actively selling a product that uses this design.
Right.
You know, so they are
Yeah.
Yeah,
really
but
trying
the
to
Switch
defend.
is not biting their shit at all. At all.
The Switch is a touchscreen tablet that you know, it doesn't have any of the tablet functionality.
And
but-
it has games on it as opposed to iPads,
yeah.
which have.
Well, you can play Fortnite on an iPad.
That's
Can't play
true.
Fortnite on a Switch. You can play the video game
Holy
on
shit,
an iPad.
you're right.
What the fuck has the Switch got? Arms?
There's no Thanos in arms.
That's right.
Seems like the government is taking this seriously.
I don't even think Thanos has arms.
No, just hands.
Yeah, he's just like Rayman.
Reuters on Tuesday reported that Game Vice had lodged a complaint against Nintendo with the U.S. International Trade Commission. In a statement, the ITC said it had begun an investigation into, quote, certain portable gaming console systems with attachable handheld controllers and components.
So the PS4 or what?
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
Just
weird.
like looking at a Switch and then looking at an iPad.
No, it
just
looks-
like,
Can I play the Fortnite on this?
Anyway, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I doubt it's going to stop them selling Switches.
Yeah, maybe they'll have to pay the Game Vice folks off at some point.
Sure.
For getting there first.
Yes.
the fine folks at Game Vice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you mean Waypoint?
Is it supposed to be like? What's next, Brad?
Have you been playing much Fortnite?
Yeah, we were just talking about it.
Did you know that guy Thanos?
Yeah,
What's up with that?
he's in it.
Yeah.
I saw him.
Purple.
I saw him do the dance.
In the game?
Yeah,
Or watching the stream?
the Fortnite dance. I saw just a gif of
Oh, okay.
Thanos.
You have
doing
not
it.
run into him in game?
I haven't played it since they've added him.
So what? Oh, okay.
Hey, Thanos is in Fortnite.
Fortnite is big, you may have heard.
Yes.
I think Avengers are also big.
Thanos is the guy from the Avengers.
Yeah, he's like,
He's the Avenger.
you have to get me my gloves. And then you have to go get him his gloves.
Because he's a germaphobe.
Okay, yeah.
He doesn't
And
like touching anything.
He's the guy from Marvel superheroes that you would get the gems and then use them, and you use the soul gem and shoot shit out.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got orange gloves and a blue jumpsuit.
Just wears a white T-shirt, crosses his arms, and looks at you while you clean stuff.
He moves
Okay.
pretty slow, but he has some pretty good like multi-hit attacks.
All right. And now he's a
And now he's in
Fortnitesman.
Now he's in
Fortnite.
Fortnite. Yeah, they've got an event going on. I guess the Infinity Gauntlet spawns in the map somewhere, and whoever finds it gets to be Thanos.
Well, it's just like Star Wars Battlefront.
And then you get superhero abilities.
I have to say, good on both them and Marvel for like striking while the iron's hot on
I
this.
guess now's the time.
Yeah.
This seems like, you know, you see a lot of video game tie-ins that are just kind of don't hit the mark.
Right. Or they're like a little too late, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, guys.
But this one seems pretty on point.
I
For,
mean, it's the biggest game and probably the biggest movie.
yeah,
of the year.
It's big enough that people are now freewheeling spoilers out there just everywhere.
Oh, I feel like that
comments
started like 2 days after the movie came
But
out.
like this is like where I wouldn't expect to see it, just in random comments sections of like making jokes about the end of the movie.
Yeah, I have mostly just intuited what the end of that movie is from all the gifs floating around. And
I don't think I've seen anything,
dumb
but also
photoshops people are doing.
I wouldn't know what to look for.
I'm sure you've seen
if
one
I
of the
see it.
memes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I probably have.
there's the weird dissolvey thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's from that?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, this seems cool, and it makes me excited about what else they could, other special events, because up to this point, their only special events were like it's 50 times 50 or like
just mechanic stuff like seasons changing over, stuff like that. So
it seems like a fun thing to do that is fun.
Yeah.
And not like just like that sounds like something that would unbalance a game if suddenly someone had superpowers, but fuck it, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
As opposed to just fucking doubling down on the most dour ass fucking, we've got to esports balance. We got to make sure that fucking this shit is fucking legit.
Totally.
Like,
and I can
fuck
see it being
that.
like, oh, there's Thanos. Like, we're going to, instead of trying to shoot anyone else I see, it's like multiple people trying to take him down.
Yeah.
It could add some cool. I do really want to check this out.
I mean, wacky fun is the whole reason this game blew up the way that PUBG did not.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like PUBG looks like a serious ass military shooter. Like
Yeah.
it plays like one. This game is just
Cartoons.
ridiculous, over the top, dumb fun.
You see the new.
Doesn't have any BMX bikes though.
No.
They put in the Conor McGregor dance walk, the way he like jiggles around while he
Okay.
walks. That's in Fortnite now.
He should sue him.
Sure is
guys-
hoping.
Throw a chair at him.
You guys keep up with any of this like Comet stuff and the season 4?
A little bit.
business? Like it seems like
Yeah.
there's constantly stuff happening with Fortnite. And
Yeah,
whatever.
they were teasing that they were teasing that they were gonna destroy Tilted Towers, which is kind of the most popular drop spot in the game. It's like the school,
Yeah.
basically. And then like people got there was an event at the end of season 3, beginning of season 4. There was going to be a big meteor hitting
Yeah,
or
it was
comet
like
or
a
something.
comet or something. Yeah.
And so they were teasing that was gonna hit and destroy Tilted Towers, and everyone freaked out. And they're like, "Just kidding."
Hmm.
But it's still in play to a degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Reese Witherspoon tweeting about Fortnite yesterday.
Sure.
It's weird. Continues to be weird.
Yeah.
They should. I mean, that's something that, like, from a balance perspective, there shouldn't be one spot where everyone wants to drop.
Well, it's all the people who like don't really know how to play and just want to start shooting things right away and die. And usually, like, that's been my experience. Is whenever I queue up with random teams, it's like 2 10-year-olds being like, "We're going here," who just don't really understand.
We
Like,
don't have the
game or
patience to
anything. Yeah.
farm items
Yeah.
we want to murder.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Even when I would play like the squads of 50 or the squads of 20, like everyone's markers would immediately jump to Tilted Towers.
Okay.
I'm more of a loot llama kind of guy.
You guys like that Switch Pro controller?
It's okay.
Never touched it.
Really?
Same.
Yeah.
You don't have one?
No.
Oh man.
I play
tried-
mostly in docked.
Oh sure,
or,
that's right. You're mostly,
undocked.
You're mostly portable. I don't think I have ever used the Switch as a portable except just to marvel at how it works. And then I immediately, yeah.
Oh.
I pulled it off a couple times when I got it, and I was like, "Man, that's cool." And then I put it back and continued using it on the TV.
Like the Korg thing, I think is the only thing I would
Yeah.
undock it for
Yeah.
because it's got meaningful
God, that thing is so
touchscreen
cool.
stuff.
Did you mess with that anymore?
Well, yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, we use that Korg. It's not really a synthesizer or tracking thing. It's more of
It
a,
is a handful of.
I mean, you can make music
synths,
with it.
software synths, and
it's not
a
like
sequencer.
it's not like a full featured production environment, but
yeah.
that thing is super cool. We
I didn't-
messed with it on UPF.
Were there any 808s on that?
There are no licensed. Here's the 808
Right,
or anything
right.
like that, but you could. I believe you can find some 808 sounds on there. I haven't gone
Okay.
through every single bank.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that Core Gadget stuff is cool. But
That thing is
yeah.
neat.
seeing that all of it was also available on like Mac in different formats and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and iOS
Yeah.
made me feel like a dumbass for
buying it on
buying the
Switch.
like most feature light version.
I assume those versions can probably export your music,
Yeah, probably.
unlike this one.
Probably.
Yeah.
But there
Pretty,
you there
pretty
you have
cool
it.
to play with, though. Anyway,
That Namco, the Namco, the Kamada synth that they have in there, I would probably buy that as a VST if it was available.
the thing had a certain thing going on.
Yeah,
You hear-
I like its sound.
You hear that thing, and you're like, oh yeah, I played 80s arcade games. Anyway, Switch Pro controller. They are now supporting it in Steam. You can plug that thing into your PC.
Another thing for your computer to accidentally bring up big picture mode every time you test.
Man.
There's a box you can uncheck that stops
It
that.
doesn't. It does not. I've tried every setting they have for that multiple times, and it's still.
Someone commented because I was complaining in a quick look because it happened, and I was so fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And I went and unchecked it, and it hasn't happened since.
Every time I complain about it, people point me to those settings, and I'm like, yeah, I've tried all of those,
Hmm.
so I just can't leave a DualShock plugged in.
Oh, maybe it's something specifically with like non-X input controllers or something like that.
Oh, you're talking about with an Xbox controller?
Yeah.
Okay. Like I had a PS4 controller plugged in for their remote play. So
Oh,
like
right,
you'd be
right.
playing remote play on your PC, and it would just bring up big picture on top of that every time you hit the button.
Oh,
terrible.
Yeah,
wonderful.
it's really bad. This says they support the gyroscope in the Pro controller on Steam. So I don't know, maybe they could come up with something cool. I don't know.
Developers are developing games for Xbox controllers and no additional functionality. So like the gyroscope stuff is like, oh, well, maybe you might like mapping a mouse to it if you want.
Sure.
But like, I don't, I don't need that. So that's a cool option, I guess.
The controller is nice, but the D-pad is just wonky enough that
I would not.
It could never be my main, sadly.
I bought one of those Xbox Elite controllers. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's a good controller.
It's a good ass controller. Expensive, but if I did not want to spend the money on that, I would use an Xbox One controller on a PC. That's it.
Seeing a lot of people again on Twitter talking about a new model of that thing at E3, maybe. Saw some people in the games press last week tweeting about that.
Again, like a FCC thing or what?
No, nothing, no hard news.
Oh.
I think it's just speculation. Or I think there was some product listing something a few weeks ago.
Well, I guess we're at a point where, because not long after that Elite came out is when they started putting Bluetooth into those Xbox controllers so they would work on a PC.
I saw,
assuming you have a PC with Bluetooth, which I've never owned one that.
Well, a lot of people use those things with like Android tablets and
sure.
mobile stuff that has Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Saw Arthur Geese suggesting maybe the new one would have USB-C or something like that.
And to what end? I don't know. I don't know.
Who knows? Xbox Elite Controller 2 is a common Google search, so people are ready for it. Windows Central has a story called Everything We Know About Spider, the next Xbox Elite controller.
Look out, it's a fucking spider.
Fuck that.
It's got 8 handles.
No. It's just an N64 controller with just like fucking clone stamped all the way around.
They suggest it might have a charge dock.
Okay.
Hey, as long as it doesn't break 3 months after.
Oh, this is all rumor and speculation. This is not confirmed. It seems that the new Elite controller has built-in batteries and a unique charging port on the reverse of the device, which has been described as MagSafe-like.
Oh. If they did that with a dock, like that'd be convenient. I don't know. That's I guess my only like angry use case about this stuff that makes me not want to use a wireless controller at all is if you launch MAME without your controller turned on, it wipes all of your controller settings.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And so next time you would launch it with the controller turned on, you would have to reset them all. It sucks. It's a bad they should not do it that way. But it's been enough for me to not use a wireless controller on my PC ever.
That's messed up. With their dongle? Like their wireless thing?
Yeah. Because I will often launch it and then go grab the controller and then have to turn it on and be like, fuck. As it stands, sometimes when I boot up my machine, I don't know if it's because I'm going through like a USB 3 hub or something that sometimes gets overloaded because I've got way too much plugged into it. But sometimes the controller will shut off and I'll have to unplug it and plug it back in. And so even with a wired controller, I've run into that exact situation and been bummed out.
Is that hub powered?
Yes.
Okay. I got nothing. All right. Last story. It's a tragic one. The Pinball Arcade is losing the Bally Williams licenses.
Yeah. Was it June 30th? I think is going to be the last day for these things to be on sale.
Yeah. This news hit late yesterday, and people were bummed.
It sucks.
Like people all over, like on the forum thread I was reading, and people on Twitter, like it is not good for that product.
So if you purchased that stuff already, you will still have it.
Yeah.
But they can't sell it past June 30th.
Sounds like you can buy it now anytime before then and just have it.
Exactly.
And they've said they will support those tables after they are removed from the store.
So what tables are we talking about?
It's a
a
fuckload,
lot.
man. I got a list. It's basically the majority of the
it's like
tables
the
you would
history of pinball, basically.
Yeah, like those are that's it. Like if you're talking about pinball in the 80s and 90s and 2000s and stuff, like that is the name associated with like
They do Addams Family?
Yes.
Yep.
Fuck.
Theater of Magic, Terminator,
Black Knight.
Black Knight.
Damn.
I mean I have the
Mars
full-
Attacks?
Mars Attacks
Fuck.
is them.
Like I said, if you have a favorite
Tales
pinball
of the
table,
Arabian Nights.
probably
Simpsons Pinball?
Simpsons I don't think is them, but also I don't think that's in Pinball Arcade at all. So let's see here. Yeah, Theater of Magic, Pinbot, Bride of Pinbot, Medieval Madness, Circus Voltaire, Funhouse, with Ed Boon as Rudy. Gorgar, which I believe is one of the first is the first talking pinball machine.
Hey, it's me, Gorgar.
That's what it's. That's exactly it. You are Gorgar.
I'm Gorgar.
Black Knight, Creature from the Black
Give
Lagoon,
me your money.
Taxi,
Just kidding.
No Good Gophers, Elvira, both Elvira machines.
I used to date Elvira.
Twilight Zone, which is a great fucking table. Star Trek: The Next Generation, Attack from Mars, Dr. Dude.
not Dr. Dude.
Who am I going to see now?
Yeah, well, not Dr. Dude. Firepower, Cactus Canyon.
Who else is going to write me prescription for my glaucoma?
That's
My insomnia.
yeah,
My pinball addiction.
yeah. Dr. Dude will still see you.
What Dr. Dude supplies you with will not help
yeah.
you with your pinball addiction. In fact, it will enhance it.
Yeah.
Right.
Space Shuttle, Whitewater, Centaur, Pinbot, Champion Pub, Whirlwind, Terminator 2, Fishtails,
So why is there any speculation on why
High fucking Speed.
they're pulling out?
Yeah. Also, do you know who owns those licenses now?
I don't. I saw some people that were complaining about it, that someone implied that someone in Australia picked it up, but also that a gambling company owns it now.
Yeah, like I
'Cause
saw
the WMS name still exists on slot machines and shit,
Okay.
but they may have spun the pinball rights off to someone else by now. I don't actually know.
I saw some like oblique talk about whoever owns the rights. Like nobody quite knows.
Yeah, so this seems like a situation where if you were Farsight, the people that made Pinball Arcade, you would probably want to keep those licenses up. So I assume something in the negotiations to extend those rights went awry. Whether it's whoever owns the rights at the current time wants to get more money out of them, or is doing a different deal somewhere else that they think is going to be worth more money. It should be noted that I actually think Farsight has done a questionable job when it comes to the console versions of Pinball Arcade. A lot of times the tables just didn't come out on time. And so I don't know what this means for people who maybe bought it on Switch, because I don't know how many of these packs of tables, how many seasons of tables they're selling on Switch, if it came out with everything all at once or not. Because, like I said, there are people who bought Pinball Arcade on 360 that felt a little burned. The PS3 version got kind of abandoned. I think at the time they kind of said like, the PS3 hardware is a fucking train wreck and we can't, or whatever the reasons were. Like some of the console versions over the years have not been treated too kindly.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of the discussion I saw around this news, I saw people saying that they have stretched themselves too thin.
Yeah.
I also saw some people suggesting that this could effectively be the end of the product.
Well, I mean,
This is like most of the library.
right. But I mean, but also how much money were they making on an ongoing basis selling these tables that have existed in some cases for years in the product? So there's still a pathway for them to continue to sell new tables. It's just that when I think about the tables I still want,
That's what I mean.
a lot of them still come from Williams and Bally.
They've got the big list of the ones you've heard of.
So, they put out that Stern Pinball Arcade that was like a separate product that only had some Stern tables in it. And that thing ran weird and just was I assume that's just something with the licensing deal they did with Stern. They had to sell a separate product. And they weren't emulations, I think, because in some cases, anyway, that was a bad weird product.
I mean, there is a whole weird pinball emulation scene, right?
Yeah. There's also that whole scene out there too. Pinball Arcade has been really good. They just added Bonsai Run, which is a sick fucking pinball table that has a pinball table in the back glass as well.
Oh.
Huh.
Which is cool. And so I was excited to see that come in. And that was when that came out, I started thinking like, man, what else would I even want? There was like a couple of basketball themed tables that I think would be good. I'm trying to think, like NBA Fast Break, I think it was called. That would be a good one. a couple here and there, but I think they've hit most of the high points for me personally throughout the 80s and 90s. So I already own those tables, so this doesn't necessarily impact me that much, but I think it's a bummer. I think they, by and large,
they
that
do
thing
have
is
a little
cool.
bit. They do have a little bit of time now for the people who would get bummed out.
Right.
Yeah, you can get them, and
Yeah.
like I said, they claim they will continue supporting them after the sales end.
Though you start to wonder now, like, okay, if this goes down June 30th, do you buy it now, or do you wait and see if they do a fucking last minute blowout
they
sale?
They explicitly said that their agreement with the rights holders prohibits them from putting them on sale ever.
Okay, good.
So,
Good to know. That's good that they at least clear that up.
Yeah.
That's a cool product on PC. I think it's those tables are fun. I had a good time with like the iPad version of it for a while also, and then just at some point said, fuck it, I'm just gonna play this on PC instead. And I don't have a ton of experience with the console versions, but like I said, I've definitely seen a number of complaints about how some of those versions came out and how they were treated, and keeping parity with the PC and all that other stuff, that because they had to go through cert, I'm sure it was just like way harder for them to get tables out day and date there.
I played pinball for the first time in a long time last week. I think it was Indiana Jones, and 2 out of 3 balls went right through there. Shoot again, right through there again.
Good work.
It was the single most aggravating pinball experience of my life.
Nice.
It cost $1.
Pinball.
Oh fuck.
I guess the Switch would have been a nice platform for this because you can
Yeah, you could do
orient
the
it
sideways
vertically,
thing.
right?
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
get the nice
It's a cool idea.
long view. It's a shame.
Like Green Day.
Yes, exactly. They ever make a Green Day table?
Not an official one.
Could have seen something like that happening.
Sure.
Not a lot of band tables, right?
Yeah. There's
They did
Guns
the
N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses.
The Who. I want to say there was a
Okay.
Who
Yeah.
pinball machine years
I
ago.
wouldn't be surprised if there
A
was
Rolling
Stones.
Stones, I think,
Yeah,
exists
Stones
also.
seems like
There was
good
that one-off Metallica table
Huh.
that
Like
someone
custom
made.
made?
Yeah.
Weird. Is there like a custom pinball table scene?
I don't know how
people
much of it is a
making-
scene and how much of it is just like
individual
lunatics that
individual
have
loons?
their thing that we know we need to do this, and then they only make one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Is there a Dragon Ball Z pinball machine anywhere?
I don't think so.
How
I don't
much
know.
overlap
Yeah.
there is?
Probably a fair share of like pachinko machines, but less
Yeah.
pinball.
There you go.
You'd have to
I'm
get
still-
7 balls every time.
I'm still thinking about
Like-
Green Day pinball. How fucking
would
bad it
would
would
it be like a Dookie themed? Like what
Yeah.
era of Green Day
Yeah.
would
I
you
think
base
it
a
would be a
pinball machine
I think it'd be
around?
like one of those
career-
musicals that
Oh,
like
it would be like
a
because they did
jukebox.
that. They did there is
Oh,
an
you-
American Idiot musical
right.
or something, right?
Yes,
I think it has to be more early mid '90s because that's also when pinball was still big.
But like now, it's like pinball is a nostalgia thing. So and Green Day kind of is as well.
Yeah.
So a career retrospective Green
I-
Day table.
I don't think Green Day matters enough at this point.
Tell that
Also-
to my ex-roommate.
Mike Dirnt.
That guy always seemed a little scary to me. Like
Yeah.
like you wouldn't want to cross him.
Like he was the intense one.
Yeah, like you would not want to cross him in a bar.
Yeah,
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
that's just like the shirt says.
Well,
My roommate
That's it for
was
news.
friends with
Thank you.
someone who was friends with Trey Cool's cousin.
okay.
My ex-roommate was dating somebody who was in a band with one of the guys from Green Day who wasn't Billy Joel.
Billy Joel. Yeah, Billy Joel
Mike
was.
Dirnt.
Yeah,
I mean, wasn't Alex is the one who like they played
they
his
played
high
my
school?
they played my high school.
Or was it your high
Yeah.
school?
Yeah.
Like they have to be the biggest band that ever made it around here, right?
Metallica.
Well, I mean-
Well, I guess
technically
Metallica's
from-
also-
San Francisco,
Technically.
Papa Roach?
Jefferson
Yeah.
Airplane.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean,
The
recently,
Grateful
like,
Dead.
like that these guys would know
Yeah,
basically,
sure.
like that you guys saw around.
Grateful
as you were
Dead played
growing
my
up.
high school. No, they did not.
Yeah.
I think I was conceived after a Grateful Dead show.
Okay.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's
that
heavy.
explains a lot.
That's heavy. That's some heavy knowledge to live with. All right, that's it for news. Let's take one more break and we'll come back and read some emails.
Mother's Day is upon us.
Every time we do one of these, you might think that I am just playing a role.
Oh, yeah.
Where I say, crap, again, really, that soon?
Yeah.
It's not an act.
No.
I should really order my mom some flowers.
Well, ProFlowers.
Before the day before.
Yeah, before the day before, ProFlowers has your back. You can send ProFlowers for Mother's Day, and that will get you, it'll be guaranteed, 7 days of fresh, beautiful flowers. These flowers will stay fresh for a full week. That's right.
That's a long time.
It's guaranteed.
That's 7 days.
Yeah. And this is the last week you can send 100 colorful blooms with a free glass vase for just $19.99 plus shipping and handling.
100 flowers takes some muscle to move.
That's right.
They need time.
They need time to make it
prepare.
happen over at ProFlowers. The promo code is Bombcast. Let's talk about it here. The fresh flowers, guaranteed delivery, unique vases and accessories that mom will love. ProFlowers has everything you need to get your Mother's Day shopping done for all the moms you know.
Well, I guess I know a lot.
Well,
now that you mention it,
I hear you.
I didn't know.
Nice.
Didn't know I was on the hook to send all those flowers.
I don't want to tell you how to live your life, but you know, this is available for all the moms in your life. You just choose the delivery date you want, and it's guaranteed. You can even get it delivered on Mother's Day.
That's a good day to have them delivered.
Yeah, that's
the
a
day you want.
Yeah. And it is this Sunday, so don't forget to show.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, I totally thought it was next Sunday.
Just look, man.
Huh?
Mother's Day is this Sunday.
Crud.
Don't forget to show mom how much she means to you by sending her 100 colorful blooms with a free glass vase for just $19.99 plus shipping and handling.
What's your mom going to do with all those blooms?
Just look at them for a full week, guaranteed.
Smell
and look
them?
at how like fantastically fresh they are.
Yeah.
Smell them. Do what? Yeah. Whatever you want to do with them is up to you. I don't think ProFlowers has any real input into how the flowers are. If you want to eat the flowers, that's probably okay.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
It's your life.
You can send those 100 colorful blooms by visiting ProFlowers.com. Click on the blue microphone in the upper right corner and use the code BOMBCAST. That's ProFlowers.com. Click on the microphone, and the code is BOMBCAST.
All right, we got a bumper crop of emails this week.
All right.
Been toiling away in the email fields. The harvest is plentiful. You ready to feast?
Let's eat.
Okay.
Mails.
Belly up to the table for some eat mails. Bombcast@giantbomb.com.
I like making a mess on myself.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Like with a bib or without?
Without.
Okay.
Sometimes with.
Maybe just go shirtless. Just get it right on you.
Now you're talking.
Yeah. Save it for later.
Uh-huh.
Daniel from Los Angeles. So there's a Ren Faire in town in the next couple of weeks.
Bummer.
I've never
Fucking
been.
sucks.
All I know about Ren
Go on
Fairs.
vacation.
Yeah.
Skip town. Just got to get out of here.
All I know about Ren Fairs is that there will be lamb legs, drinks, probably people on drugs, and Star Trek people pretending they're on a time travel mission.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Sounds like a good time or the worst time. Have any of you ever been to a Ren Fair?
Yep.
Yeah, I've been to a few.
Yeah.
I had fun.
It sounds like a very Bay Area, like Northern California.
Yes.
Actually, specifically North Bay type thing.
I think I've been to two in Santa Cruz, and yeah.
I might have gone to that Santa Cruz one. I had a friend of mine's roommate was involved in that whole scene, and she was like, "Come on out, I can get you in." And then we went, and then there was some trouble getting in, and so we ended up just hanging out in the parking lot for a while. I don't.
The Black Knight showed up, and he said, "You can't enter. You can't just have your friends. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You can't just bring your friends in here."
And I think we were like taking a stand of just like, I am not paying money to go to a fucking Ren Fair.
So they charge at the door,
yeah.
and then for the turkey leg.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually,
Turkey leg was good.
is this guy right? Do they have lamb legs? Leg
Probably.
of lamb?
I don't know. Yeah, it seems like something they would have.
They
They
also
have
have nachos.
Uh-huh.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Nachos and mead.
The mead was good. I remember really liking the mead.
Yeah.
I saw a public proposal where the woman said no.
Nice.
She said, "Let's talk about this."
Man, this sounds great. I don't know what you guys are talking
In
about.
character, let us talk
So
about
like
this.
there was a comedy show. Me and Mary just like stopped and we're like, "Let's watch
Yeah.
this." And
Yeah.
so it was like somebody doing like very corny humor and like people throwing tomatoes at him. It was fun.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, I need somebody from the crowd. And he's like, picked a guy out. And the guy came up and they did a little bit. And then he's like, I have something to say. And he's like, I need another volunteer for another thing. And he's like, how about the woman you came with? Brought her up. She very clearly did not want to be on stage at all. I don't know if she knew what was coming or just didn't want to be in front of the people. And then he proposed and she went like, she like did the like the real reaction of like covering her face, like cheeks at first and then her whole face. And then it was just like, can we just actually go talk about this? And then it was dead silent for about 10 seconds. And the comedian guy was like, let's give it a hand for these two. And it was just like the most tepid, like,
yay!
Get him off.
That's fucking murder, man.
So go to your Ren Faire. Maybe you'll see that.
That sounds entertaining.
You can go get a cool knife, like a cool wallet. That was actually the most interesting stuff to me. It was like, there's some really cool leatherwork stuff and metalwork.
This cool belt.
I had a
I need
cool
a new wallet.
I had a cool knife that had like the hilt was Merlin's beard and it had like gems in it.
This is a new definition.
I
Of
mean,
cool.
I was like
okay.
10.
Okay, all right, okay.
And it was any knife that I could have.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. You framed
it was
this
a
in a way
dagger.
that I get it.
It was very
Yeah.
much like a ceremonial kind of dagger thing, but I thought it was the cool.
I feel like I have softened a lot over the years in stuff like this, where I was much harder edged about, man, fuck the Ren Faire, where now I'm just like, fucking do with your thing.
As long as you're not in my
just
space.
like if you want to take over this fucking parking lot at this drive-in movie theater and make it a fucking Ren Faire for a weekend, do it there. Live in your tents and have your kinky orgy sex. I'm all for it. It sounds like a fucking great time. I'm not there. Awesome.
Just bring me a turkey leg.
A guy that I worked at a magazine with years ago, this was when I was at maybe my most anti-Ren Faire stance imaginable. About 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only way he could... his whole justification for why it was cool, and he was trying to sell me on it, was a lot of corsets, a lot of tight, it's good if you like boobs. And I was like,
Hey, bro. You like boobs.
I mean, yes, but I don't need to go to a fucking parking lot. It did not work. It didn't work. It did not make me go like,
satisfying about like having
boobs?
a turkey
Yeah.
leg, walking around, just like taking it all
Is there
in.
jousting?
Yeah, totally. And you know they'll probably do it like kind of at the county fair style. Where they have like set rotations and you go and watch.
Or should you just go to a medieval times?
I've never been.
There
to a
aren't any
medieval
around
time.
here.
It's not-
It's an
yeah.
LA thing,
I think
right?
there is one in
Yeah.
LA. I feel
I
like
would love to.
I feel like
go
the
to a-
discussion happens every couple of years about going to that one, but
What if we went? What if we were on the winning Knights team?
it's tough to
that does sound appealing.
fit it in
At medieval
actually.
times.
There might,
Next year we'll see if we can get a room there instead of the one we get this year.
get them to cater our
Do the
meal
whole,
every
do
night.
the whole show there.
Flagons of mead for everyone,
It'd be a nightmare.
for every guest.
It'd be a nightmare.
Justin from Union, Kentucky. With the discovery that the Nintendo Switch has an unpatchable vulnerability that can open the door to piracy, and Nintendo likely to make the hardware changes to close that hole, what do you think is the probability that the price on first-year Switches jumps on eBay? Will my Switch someday be worth more than what I paid for it?
Potentially.
Maybe. But God, it's like we're talking like what, pushing 15 at least million of those things out there?
There's a lot of them out there. So,
And my understanding, I mean, every one that's still on shelves right now still has the same hole. So it's not like...
we'll see what happens, in terms of, everyone talks a lot about like, oh, this is something they can't patch through firmware and all this other stuff. And we'll see. None of that will matter until the vulnerabilities have been exploited and in ways that allow these things to be used that way.
Yeah.
That'll be the thing that actually probably kicks it off. Because like what old PS, like you still see people trying to sell Vitas on old firmware and definitely acknowledging like, this is a low firmware Vita. And you're like, oh, and like first model PS3s that still do backwards compatibility, those hold some kind of premium over later models. And and stuff like that. So there are definitely cases where just like old versions of hardware do start to be worth more than the following revisions and stuff like that for a variety of reasons.
But there are so many of those things out there.
There are a lot. And you probably won't be able to play those 20 NES games. You know, you won't be able to, all your online stuff.
You might be able to play those 20 NES games.
What if you could play all the NES games?
All right, I don't want to have this conversation anymore. You won't be able to play Splatoon on the internet.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Let's see.
That's why we need a decentralized internet, man.
That's right.
More console talk.
Internet of cops.
Oh, that sounds like a bad place to be.
We're there now.
Yeah. Could always be worse. Ben from the UK. There's more console talk.
Just wake up. Just say my mantra. It could always be worse. And then the day has begun.
Ben from the UK. In the last month or so, PS4 Pro consoles in the UK have been increasingly harder to find online or in store. For example, Amazon, Argos, and Currys are all out of stock of Pros. Those aren't real stores.
Argos is a real store. I've heard Goldie Looking Chain rap about it.
Okay. There's your confirmation. Is it sensible to
Currys
presume...
are very popular.
Yes.
That's true.
So.
Yeah. Is it sensible to presume that there is going to be a new revision of the PS4 Pro announced at E3? A PS4 Pro Slim, perhaps? Have you guys heard anything along these lines?
No.
I have, well, I mean, this is not quite the same thing. I've seen a lot of people saying like that God of War edition PS4 Pro was like very hard to come by, but also God of War is selling like hotcakes, so that doesn't necessarily mean that supply is low, but maybe they did not produce many of those.
That Toys R Us didn't have any PS4s at all. I don't know. I guess I haven't really checked and seen just what the stock situation is in the stores that I go to, so I don't know.
I'm trying to think, it's PS4 Pro is like year and a half old.
You know what? I was just at a Costco and they had plenty of PS4 Pros there, and they had like a Battlefront 2 bundle or something there too. I don't know if that was a Pro or not, but
I don't know. Seems a little early for a revision of that thing.
Yeah,
to me.
If it is a revision, then it probably wouldn't be like a big deal.
It's probably like same.
We've redesigned it, same price,
same casing.
Yeah.
Slightly different innards or something like that.
We found a cheaper way to make this thing. Like I wouldn't be shocked if they already have revised the Pro at least once,
but not like to shrink it necessarily.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think they need to.
Yeah.
I wonder if they cut price on the Pro or if they.
I don't know. I mean, that thing is big and ugly and loud. I wouldn't mind a better model of it, but
I don't think it's ugly.
It looks okay. It's big though.
It is big.
Like the Xbox One X is way smaller and fucking whisper quiet and way more powerful.
I'm still, because I forget, but every time I pick up an Xbox One X, that reminder of just like, this thing feels fucking solid and powerful.
Yeah.
Like, here's this like small, tightly packed thing.
It is the most powerful console of all time, Jeff.
That thing feels like a premium product.
It does.
Like, it just feels, it's got heft to it.
And then you turn it on.
Feels well made. Holy shit, I forgot. No, I forgot the most important news story of the fucking week. They changed the dashboard sounds.
What?
Have you turned that thing on?
No.
So they rolled out their
I guess it's been a while.
No, I just discovered this yesterday.
I almost turned it on yesterday, but I forgot. I was gonna actually play City of Brass.
So they rolled out God, what is that thing called? Like, they do dashboard updates.
Blades 2.
Blades of Steel.
They had a name for this last update that rolled out like a weekish ago.
What like natural thing is it named after, or
how many controller flicks does it take me to get to my video games? More or less than
No. I mean, it's basically the same dashboard. Okay. They just changed the sounds.
Wow.
But the same sounds they have been using since the launch of the Xbox 360.
Is it like a wild departure, or is it just like
noticeably
they
different.
echo different, or it's not like a reverb? Or...
So the what do they call it? The toast, like achievement pops. Basically sounds the same, but it's got more reverb on it, and behind it there's this little like doo-doo.
Okay.
All right. But the other sounds are completely different. Like
wow.
all the menu navigation, like moving the cursor around and like hitting, confirming and going back. Like
what about the whooshing?
Totally. The whoosh is the same.
Okay.
They did not change the whoosh, but all the menu sounds are different. Like,
that's fucking exciting.
Fucking crazy.
I'm fucking down.
Like I would have to go pull up footage, but I'm pretty sure the Blades used those exact same sound effects right up until like last week. That's 12,
Yeah, I mean,
that's
no,
12 years, 13 years of sound effects.
I hooked up my Xbox One for the first time, and I was like, these are the 360 sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New sound effects.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like dumb little console details like that.
Yeah.
It's often more interesting than the games. All right. Big Tom from Michigan. I felt your silent disdain when reading last week's email tale of game stopping 3 systems and a box of games for a Switch. I have some stories that might hurt your hearts as well, but I still feel justified in my decisions. Number 1, I sold Panzer Dragoon Saga around 99 or 2000 for $200 and a copy of Wild Arms 2 on GameTradingZone.com, which, sure. At the time, I was leaving home for college for the first time, and that money was way more meaningful to me than $1,000 would be to me today. I definitely feel differently if Panzer Dragoon Saga was going for closer to 5 figures now, though. Is he saying it is going
No,
for 5 figures?
I don't think
it's not that.
Yeah, no.
I assume it's still fairly valuable.
Yeah.
That thing was always like the rarest game back around that time frame, I remember.
Mhm.
Like that was the one that nobody could find.
Right.
They made like 4,000 copies or something.
Yeah. Wild Arms 2, huh?
Wild Arms 2. Number 2, I recently found a pretty nice black label copy of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which I took to an eBay reseller. They got $100 and I got $55 when it sold. This was more than fine to me since I have many easier and cheaper ways of playing this classic. I definitely have fond memories of these games. However, I don't have the space or desire to keep a giant collection. Thoughts?
My thought is like, was it worth the $45 to not have to ship it?
Oh, through that seller?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like if you're going through the process of selling stuff on eBay, like there's stuff that I don't necessarily want and would theoretically sell on eBay or something like that, that I then go like, I don't, who has the fucking time?
Yeah.
So I get it, but
And the potential of getting scammed.
sure. Well, I don't know. That's less of a concern. But like the idea of like having to cut the reseller into that degree, that seems like a steep fee.
That is kind of rotten. I don't know, man.
I feel like for $55 or $50, I would just hang on to Symphony of the Night.
Yeah. I mean, those cases are pretty small.
Yeah.
But he says he doesn't have the space.
I mean, if you have it on like 3 different digital services, then like,
Oh yeah,
you know.
yeah. I mean, like I would not play that copy of the game, but
Sure.
I would probably still just go like, I'm going to hang on to it. But I guess if space is a real concern, then
Yeah.
whatever.
Go all digital.
All money is good money.
yeah,
All digital.
I'm with you. Get rid of stuff. Kevin from Coralville, Iowa.
When the shit goes down and none of these services work anymore.
Then I won't have to worry about video games.
Yeah,
I'll
I
have to
don't
worry
think-
about
Yeah.
hunting.
I
I was
think
gonna
I'm gonna
say,
be
yeah,
worried
when
about
they
what I'm
EMP
playing.
the internet and we can't play our Steam games anymore.
I think games will be the last of my concerns at that point.
Fair enough.
Who would be in the roster for a Ubisoft developed Super Smash Brothers clone?
Rayman.
Use Gimon.
Mhm.
Okay, you've Gimo is pretty good. Yeah, probably put some
Mr. Caffeine.
Sam Mr.
The
Caffeine.
mountain from what's the skiing game?
Steep.
The mountain
The
from
mountain
Steve.
from
Mountain
Steep.
from Steep.
Yep.
Joel McHale.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Michael Jackson dancing.
Yep.
I
The
think
Black Eyed Peas. They'd all just be one
Mhm.
character, but it would be all 4
Different
of them.
forms.
Aisha Tyler.
Yeah.
I
It's
think-
too close to E3 to like try and think of.
Sam Fisher.
Yeah. I think you got to put my man Ding Chavez in there.
And then Rabid would be potentially all the characters. Rabid would be like the power stealing character that would dress up like Sam Fisher or dress up like or Rayman and like absorb some powers.
How about Prince from Prince of Persia?
Yep. Mario.
Yep.
Yeah, Mario, Luigi,
Mhm.
Peach,
Yep.
Bowser,
Uh-huh.
Yoshi.
I wonder who owns Rabid Mario and Rabid
Uh,
Luigi. Who has the rights to those characters?
I bet that Ubisoft cannot just put Rabid Mario in anything they want.
You're probably right. That's probably the case.
Yeah.
Let's see. Speaking of Mario, Michael from Newcastle, Australia. When you break a block in All Stars, Mario keeps moving upwards. This is wrong. Broken blocks should bounce Mario down. Stage 4-2 is unplayable because of this. Fuck All Stars.
It's different and that sucks, but it's still okay. It's just, yes, in that specific way, that's
Seems like a huge change.
You know?
Like literally changing the jump behavior in a game that is all about jumping.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It would have taken work.
I did not
And
know that.
probably the people making it were like,
Nobody's gonna know. Video games are at a point right now where no one's gonna
right, yeah. Like
really
that attention to
care.
detail, I think, is still relatively recent in like a preservationist sense
Sure.
of like, we must get it exactly right.
That's fair. Andrew from England. My question is, do you think Activision will ever buy the Destiny IP? I ask this now because during Bungie's Warmind DLC reveal, they had Brent Gibson, the creative director from Vicarious Visions, there. They discussed a lot about the creative process and how Vicarious Visions is bringing their special sauce to this release. Notably, Vicarious Visions was responsible for the development of the PC version of Destiny 2, and now the studio is developing actual new content for the game. Vicarious is owned by Activision, and they seem like the ideal choice to pass the Destiny torch to once Bungie moves on to their next big thing. If the past is any indication of the future, Jason Jones is most certainly looking for their next big thing right now. Destiny's Traveler is on a wall within the streets of New Mombasa in the 2009 release Halo 3 ODST. They were thinking of their next big thing after Halo. While they were still making Halo games, they must be doing the same thing now. Bungie won't make Destiny forever, so would Activision make the move to buy it?
Yeah, I think so.
Think so?
Yeah, I could see that happening.
What
I mean, Microsoft effectively, well, they, in a roundabout way, did that with Halo.
Yeah,
They bought
yeah,
Bungie,
it was
but
a
they-
weird, yeah.
But they kept Halo when Bungie got
Yeah,
out.
I think there are two options. I think Activision buys Bungie or Activision
Mhm.
buys Destiny.
Yeah.
Depending on what Bungie's financial situation is like at a given time, that would probably be the answer to that question.
Yeah.
Um,
And whether they're out there potentially making a deal with another publisher for their next
sure,
thing.
right, right.
Or another deal with Activision, but I don't know if...
Activision is in need of games.
That's
I
true,
think, right now.
But
So
I don't know how they view how the Destiny thing has gone
that's fair.
long term.
Yeah. They've made money.
Yeah.
So even if there are things around the edges where you're like, this is not going great, like I think on the money end, they're probably pretty happy with that stuff.
Schreier from Kotaku put out a graphic from their earnings report last week where they list a bunch of their big games from the last year, and
Yeah.
there's no mention of Destiny whatsoever.
Well, it's money they have to split with Bungie,
Well,
so it's
yeah,
not
that's
like an
true.
O&O.
Yeah,
but I
that's
guess
true.
it depends on what else was on that list. Maybe there was something else.
Yeah. Also, who knows if Vicarious is big enough to support a new Destiny entirely by
Oh
themselves.
yeah, no. I assume that they are
Like
a,
that- well,
a
they
great
would-
studio to do some DLC.
Yeah.
While Bungie probably works on, like, I'm sure at some point, like, Bungie's probably reluctantly thrilled, I guess. Or maybe it's a little mixed. You know, they like to do things their way, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, having some of this stuff handled externally, allowing them to focus on the big stuff
Mhm.
is probably welcome.
Especially if they have to turn out like a $40 expansion this fall,
Right.
like they did with the first game.
Yeah.
Mike in Michigan. Seeing the Gersfield t-shirt and new graphics that pop up during the videos, it's on my conscience to share with you this story about Jim Davis's lawyers and my family as a cautionary tale. Back in the 1980s, my uncle had a booth at a, quote, world-famous trade center, or flea market, in Detroit. All of the paperwork he filed was in his mom's or my grandmother's name. They sold many things, but my 8-year-old self primarily remembers it being mostly knives and heavy metal t-shirts, you know, the good stuff.
Yep.
At some point, my uncle got a hold of bootleg Garfield shirts and began selling them.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't long before Jim Davis's lawyers showed up at the booth serving my grandmother papers, ordering her to stop selling the shirts and banning her from being within 50 feet of Garfield merchandise for life. Learn from my family's mistakes or not, but if all the Garfield content suddenly and
interesting.
quietly disappears from the site, know that at least one listener out there understands.
How do you enforce that ban?
50-foot ban.
By presenting someone with papers, scaring the shit out of them,
Yeah.
and getting them to sign whatever.
No, but like, how do if
you
they
mean,
don't
you mean how do they then
Yeah.
keep track of
Oh.
you? Yeah, good luck.
like a 50? If someone's wearing a
Right.
Garfield shirt on the bus, same bus as me, do I go to jail?
Yes.
That person also goes to jail
Yeah,
because
well,
of the shirt.
yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm going down, I'm taking them with me.
Yeah.
Give you a real reason to hate Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
He's a litigious guy, apparently.
Understandable.
Uh,
We all saw what happened to Bart Simpson.
what's that?
We all saw what happened
Yes.
to Bart Simpson.
Yes, of course.
Desert Storm was a rough time for Bart.
Chris from Toronto. All I can think about since playing the new God of War is the obvious spoof that needs to happen, God of Worf. Swap Worf in for Kratos, Alexander for Atreus, a Batleth for an axe, and have them go on a journey to take down Kahless. It writes itself. You'd barely even need to change most of the dialogue.
Yep. Agreed.
That's pretty much all you could say to that.
Yeah.
I've been rewatching TNG, and that first season has some rough spots.
Oh boy, it is only worth watching to appreciate that it gets better.
Yeah, it's
really.
so weird.
I don't.
They just didn't.
It's a weird fucking
I get
show.
the
They
vibe that
didn't know what
they
that
had
show
no
was,
idea.
yeah.
Like Data was
Well,
just like weird,
Roddenberry knew
pure
what he wanted
comedic
it to
relief.
be,
Sure.
but he was also becoming senile, and it has also been revealed subsequently was a giant asshole. Like that show.
Surprise.
That show didn't really get good until he was like out of the picture, more or less. Yeah, we just did a full rewatch like 2-3 years ago. I can't think of a single episode in season 1 that is like a must-watch episode.
That first episode's pretty good.
That's okay.
The meet and cue.
Yeah,
and
sure.
it's-
Some of that stuff is okay. I can't think of like a single classic episode until season 2 though.
Yeah.
Let's see. Vincent from Dallas. I was digging through my old room at my parents' house the other day and found my very first handheld system, which, unlike literally everyone else my age, was not a Game Boy or Game Gear, but a Game.com.
Cool.
My question is this: what was the initial reaction to the Game.com? It seems like a terrible and weird system in hindsight, but at the time, as a 7 or 8 year old kid, I loved playing games like Batman and Robin, MK Trilogy, and Duke Nukem on it in the back seat of my mom's car. Did it have an E3 presence? Tell me all about the historical significance or lack thereof of this system I never hear anyone talk about.
It was a piece of shit, but Lights Out, the built-in game, or the game that came with it, was okay.
What is Game.com?
Tiger put it out. It's a handheld system. It's got a touch screen, a very bad touch screen.
I didn't know it had a touch screen.
And yeah, they got some licensed games, like weird ones, like Fighters Mega Mix is on the Gamecom, and
Oh, is that how you say it?
Oh,
It's not Game.com.
that's how I always said it, because
Okay.
Game.com was such a, they don't own Game.com anymore.
It had a modem?
I got good
Yeah.
news for you about Game.com.
Okay.
Game.com is focused on creating a global gaming platforming for blockchain digital currencies.
Of course. Of fucking course.
I got an
Gross.
email in the middle of this podcast that I saw during a break with the subject line, interested in becoming a certified blockchain expert?
I don't need your
I already am,
certification.
motherfucker.
Get certified and enhance your skills in blockchain space.
Cryptocurrency is about the antithesis of certification, man.
Yeah, that's right.
I certify myself. I'm the certifying authority on the blockchain.
A word.
Word.
They made a modem for a handheld system?
Yeah, it had,
That's
it had
super-
terminal software, so you could you could log into your shell account from a Gamecom, which I did once.
Was there a keyboard?
No,
You did it with the... What? That sounds horrible.
I think there was an on-screen touchscreen keyboard.
Yeah,
I think is what
okay,
it was.
okay, sure.
Like the DS.
I forget. Yeah, like the DS.
Wow.
It's a piece of shit. I bought mine for like $20 when it was clear that it was going away. Same way I bought my Game Gear and my Virtual Boy, like on clearance from some KB Toys or something.
Came out in 97,
Yeah,
it says. So like kind of right before the Game Boy Color, probably?
I guess so. Yeah,
Roughly?
I don't know.
Says fewer than 300,000 units sold.
That's still a lot. It's still too many.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. The input latent. It was just it controlled like shit, looked like shit, no shit.
All right. That's your historical significance.
Yeah,
Put it on the back of the box.
yeah.
Yep, that's right.
I still have it somewhere, along with I think I have Batman and Robin and MK Trilogy. I think
Yeah.
that might be it.
All right.
It's a fucking bad device. It has like limited PDA functionality too. It's got like here's a calendar, whatever the fuck else.
That's weird.
It's a strange thing.
Adam from New York City. I recently had a wild Alex Navarro sighting while riding my bike this weekend.
Sweet.
As much as I wanted to stop and say hello to one of my favorite beasterinos, I did not. I feel like Alex doesn't love attention directed at him. My question is as follows. Is there a low-key or appropriate time to say hello if we see our favorite podcasters? Obviously, if you're eating dinner or something, that is a no-go, but what about in the street? Would I be a creep if I did stop? Keep up the good work. Please tell Alex I said hello. I was the one on the bike that said hello in my head.
We will let him know.
I don't know. I don't have a problem with people saying hi.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
yeah,
fine.
of course.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
The few times it's happened to me, it's it's nice. It's nice because I'm usually alone. Like if I'm with somebody, it's like I figure that maybe somebody was like, oh, he's with somebody and don't want to disturb, and that's always nice. But at the same time, like it hasn't happened in front of another human yet, and I want to be like,
Didn't you say did it just happen in front of your mom?
well, my mom was parking the car.
okay.
I was signing
So-
up on the
yeah.
waiting list. But no, that's not a problem.
Yeah, it's totally
for
fine.
me.
it's fine.
Yeah.
That said, I totally had to blow off a guy on the street last week because I was super late getting somewhere and I did not have time to stop. And I apologize to you if you were listening.
Yeah, that stuff like that
Like,
happens sometimes.
I felt terrible as I was running off, but I literally could not stop walking. I really had to get where I was going.
That stuff happened a lot at E3 last year, and that was the first time that it's been like, man, this is like kind of happening a lot, and like our timetable is so weird that I feel like a real dick because
Yeah.
I've just got to run from one thing to the next.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Something Vinny pointed out when I was talking to him about it last E3 was he always feels bad when like some guy walks up and is talking to him and he's like with his wife or something and she's just kind of standing there and doesn't really know what to say and it's kind of awkward. So, if you're with somebody else, keep in mind that they have no idea what you're talking about and you're just talking to weird strangers.
Hello, weird stranger.
It was definitely weird at PAX East having people stop me and say like, "Hey, Jan," like, and just wanted to stop and chat.
Yeah.
It was definitely an adjustment. Someone also DM'd me a picture of me standing in a field staring at the sky. That part, just a little weird.
Huh.
Don't do that.
Was it like
No.
Photoshop?
No. I was getting lunch and then I was just staring at the sky with the snow falling and then someone DM'd me a picture. It was
Wait.
like,
Oh, they literally took the picture of you? And
Yeah.
that's definitely kind of strange.
just a little weird.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
Yes, feel free to say hello.
Totally. Again, yeah, if you're listening, guy from last week, I sincerely apologize. I felt terrible about that. All right. Do we want to get into this? Pete from Melbourne
No.
No.
emailed in some pretty lengthy thoughts about Super Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
I'm not sure that I'm equipped to discuss that game right now, but
All right.
let's go.
He doesn't like it, I'll warn you.
That's fine.
But I feel
What?
like his
Okay,
email
all right.
is pretty well reasoned. All right. It's long though.
He doesn't like it because you can see Mario's nipples.
That's
Yeah.
why I do like
actually, well, you pretty much summed it up. Let's just move on.
it.
here.
Is his argument that the game feels very disjointed from world to world? Because I feel like that's the
kinda.
big argument
It's-
I've seen lately.
It's
is
a little
that
more
it just,
it's a little more mechanical than that.
Okay.
But let's look at it. A couple weeks ago, I managed to borrow a Switch and a copy of Mario Odyssey. After all the positive coverage, I was excited. For context, I grew up with Mario 64, the severe disappointment of Sunshine, and then the return to form with Galaxy in my 20s. Odyssey, like Galaxy, seemed like a genuine effort at something new and interesting. Anyway, 120 moons later, first ending done, I was left kind of shocked. It's a badly put together game. I know subjectivity, people had fun with it. How can I argue? Well, here's a couple of points. People complain about meaningless filler missions in games all the time. Missions which use up time and progress things incrementally without being either challenging or fun. If you want to progress in Odyssey, it's natural to complete the moons which are most obvious. And I found that I got to the end of the game having done almost no interesting platforming, just lots of filler. It was a trivial effort. I did not feel that way at all about Mario 64 and Galaxy. That would be fine if it wasn't the real end, but it is. Don't give me any of this darker side of the moon. The real game starts after 120 moons nonsense. I'm currently on about 600 moons, and the proportion of fun platforming to bullshit has not gotten any better. When a challenging bit of platforming does occasionally rear its head, I, 1, feel unpracticed at precise movement as the rest of the game doesn't demand it at all, and 2, feel victory is hollow because the reward is the same thingy I get to when I do a ground pound on a sparkle, or put on a hat, or go to the shop, or follow a dog, or kick a rock. I've had enough fun moments to think that it's not just that I've grown out of it. I've watched some Galaxy clips to check that I wasn't just nostalgic, and that game had a lot of actual game. The first video I clicked on contained longer, more varied, and harder platforming than anything I've encountered in Odyssey. He goes on to...
I feel like I played Odyssey by doing the things I wanted to do. And
Yeah.
so it felt more like I had choice. And when there were worlds where I was like, I think this world's kind of lame, it was very easy to just do the dumb shit and get out.
Yeah.
But I would usually just kind of like, I'm going to walk in the direction of the thing that I think looks cool.
Yep.
And so I ended up finding like stuff that was interesting and rewarding to do, and platforming, like, what's in this door? Oh shit, it's weird platform stuff. I'm gonna do this. And that's how I played it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was pretty good.
I guess I got a decent amount of that too, but like if they had just cut the number of total moons down by like 300 or 400,
I solved that problem by stopping when I got to the ending. Like
yeah.
I am the one thing I'm with him at is like this darker side of the moon. Like whatever.
Well, I did the same thing, but like I'm kind of like him, where I felt like it was just a lot of butt stomping spots on the ground by the time I got to the
There
end.
wasn't a lot of that.
There's too much though.
There's some, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed being able to like, oh shit, there's just like a moon here. Like I didn't need the reward for something that's harder to be a different object.
Right.
That wasn't going to
Yeah.
make the game any more fun for me.
If you get into that, then the logical conclusion for that, I feel, is like you need an in-game system of achievements or some way to share that with other players to show them that you did it.
You should play a game because you want to play the game.
But that's the thing, though. I didn't need a reward. Like, the reward should be getting to the end of the game and feeling like you had a fulfilling experience, and I 100% didn't get that. I was like kind of 80% or something.
I
just thought back on a lot of those moons as having been like not that interesting.
I disagree about like the feeling equipped to handle the platforming stuff, because you can go back to the earliest parts of that game, the earliest things, and there's a really good video on this. I can't forget the YouTuber who made it, but it shows like how pretty much every route in the game has like two ways of getting in there. It's the way that the camera points you, and then you can like just jump around. Like if you watch any speed run of that game, you can see the crazy shit you can start doing immediately in the world. You don't need to like prepare. I think.
But like the game rarely requires it of you, so I think there's a very easy route to the end of that game if that's and
I think that's a good thing.
I think I think so too. But at the same time, if you inadvertently have that experience and you don't realize along the way, because the game isn't always great at showing you that depth, I see how someone could get to the end of the game like going like, man, I just through luck or bad luck, like accidentally took the easy way out.
That's how I felt at the end, because like you don't know that that's going to be unsatisfying until you've already done it.
Yeah,
you can't tell going in like, oh, this is actually not going to be that fun. I should do something else.
So yeah, I'm not surprised that there are some players that inadvertently had that experience.
Yeah,
but I suspect it is not a majority of the people that play that game.
I also disagree about the difficulty. I think that darker side of the moon thing was the hardest 3D Mario thing I've ever completed. It was a motherfucker.
Yeah. I just felt like the ramp to get to that stuff was too much. Like, don't you need a certain number of moons to even access all that stuff?
Yeah, and I really genuinely enjoyed just like wandering around planets and looking for moons. Just like, because it was so pretty, it moved so well, like the music was great. I don't know. I just had a blast on fucking water levels. I was having fun just exploring the world, and I never thought
I like the the goofy little puzzles and stuff like that. They're not like super challenging or something, but it's just like, here's this goofy little thing I can do. It's just like, oh, I did this fashion show thing. I got dressed up the right way and can get into this door. And I can
that
do
stuff
this.
was fantastic.
Or like
I definitely
the
agree
Bowser Castle. Like, oh, I moved these statues, or I turned to this statue and stood here and got a moon for it. It was just like it was more a feeling of like anything I do, the developers thought of, and the moons weren't necessarily a reward so much as an acknowledgement of just like, we thought of that too.
Yeah.
Cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the reward for me. It's just like, man, you guys really kind of thought of everything. That's neat.
Yeah.
I do agree that they probably could have gotten rid of a couple hundred moons and it still would have been a justifying game. But yeah, I agree. Or I disagree with the emailer's intent.
All right. Final trio of emails are about pee.
Oh,
We brought this on ourselves.
we peed on ourselves.
Crap. I can't remember.
No,
Wait,
No,
hang
wait,
on.
which one is it,
All right.
Brad?
Hang on.
If it's both, then
I'm trying to make sure that I can say this guy's name. I just won't say it. Maybe he'll address that. I forget. Okay, yes, this guy's fine. Dan in Lake County.
okay, all right.
Oh, fuck.
Yep, Lake County. Let's hear it.
For reasons
Don't go in the lake.
Fuck, yeah,
Don't go in the lake.
For reasons you would probably assume correctly, I learned a thing or two about faking urine tests from my parents.
Lake County.
My father once created a rig which I requested specifically not to see that included some aquarium equipment, a check valve, a homemade urine substitute made from multivitamins,
Okay.
and good old American chutzpah.
Oh.
Depending on
I didn't
what
know you could get that in Lake County.
Yeah.
Depending on what facility administers the test, they may use liquid crystal temperature strips on the sample container to verify temperature, not dissimilar from the effect you would get from peeing on your Transformers emblems.
Yep.
This is why some may opt to use the heating element, which does sound risky, but do you want to wash dishes at this casino or not? There's that.
Fucking Lake County.
Where's Lake County?
It's like,
Is it up north?
yeah.
Like north?
Yeah.
Like
It
a
is-
ways, like a ways.
It is like the lake is poison. Like they warn you, just like don't go in the water.
It's methy.
There's a lot of meth.
It's methy out
There's
there.
a lot
Okay.
of
It's a little
meth.
methy out
Okay.
there.
All right. Good to know. Gosh.
I've only been there once. It was a fine time, but
I went
it
there a
was a
few
very
times.
secluded.
I had an uncle who passed away, and we went out there once. I guess I could, yeah.
Nothing bad happened to me there, but I
there-
was careful.
Are there a lot of casinos?
I'm trying to think like the one, it's River Rock there?
Yeah.
River Rock's probably close enough to there that would,
There was a casino
theoretically-
nearby that people were excited about. I remember that.
yeah. Anyway, yes. Let's just say yes.
All right. Brandon. Crap. Maybe I should stop.
Brandon Crap, right?
No need,
think-
no need
I
for
think-
last names.
I think all of there is no last name, but
Okay.
I won't say the location. I think all of these people said it was fun, but anyway, this one's kind of long, but I think the story is worth telling, so I'll read through it. But
I'll just ask this: is Brandon also from Lake County?
No.
Okay.
different state.
Okay.
Shorter emails are better, but I'll go through this quickly. Since the topic came up on last week's Bombcast, I figured I'd share my experience with the Wizinator. I work as a commercial HVAC installer. While it's not as dangerous as the most dangerous jobs in construction, which include iron worker and oil field worker, the chance of having an injury that requires stitches or another urgent care or hospital visit is very real. Most guys in the trade have at least had to get a few stitches. I personally severed my tendon that required surgery and landed me in a sweet cast for my wedding.
Nice.
The point is, you can literally be injured at any time and need a trip to the doctor, and any trip to the doctor comes with an immediate drug test. If you come up hot, all your medical expenses are on you at that point and are grounds for termination. For that reason.
Wow.
Yeah, right? For that reason, while I do enjoy weed from time to time,
Oh.
I usually don't partake because it stays in your system for so long.
Mhm.
Had I come up hot when I had my injury, I would have had to pay for my own surgery and rehab, and it's just not worth it. But about 6 years ago, my company gave me a job-attached layoff. It's common in construction when a company is short on work but has more upcoming work and will need more manpower soon. They will lay you off so you can collect unemployment with the understanding that they will bring you back when the work starts. I had about 6 weeks off during this time, which I spent with my wife in her apartment, smoking quite a bit during my vacation. When it was time for the job to start, my company called me as expected and asked me to come back. I went to the office and filled out all the paperwork and was ready to come back when the HR lady said, "Great, now you just need to go do your physical and drug test." While I knew they did this for new hires, I didn't think this was going to apply for someone coming back after such a short time like me. I asked her to schedule it for as far out as possible because I was busy. I'm sure I wasn't fooling her in the slightest.
Busy
but she,
smoking weed.
but she obliged. After freaking out, I went home and with my girlfriend began researching options. As added incentives for me, the job they were bringing me back on for was a prevailing wage job, basically a government-funded job where it's mandated that all workers make a specific wage. This particular wage was 3 times what I normally made.
Hell yeah.
Needless to say, I had to pass this test. After coming to the conclusion that I wasn't going to be able to cleanse my system that quickly, we found the Wizinator online. There were 2 models. The basic one was a medical liquid bag, like an IV bag, filled with synthetic urine, a strap you wrap around your waist, a temperature gauge with a happy zone that told you when it was body temperature, which is critical to passing the test,
Yep.
and a little tube you use to dump the liquid into the test vial. The deluxe model was a full-on fake penis.
Yeah.
Since I had done this test before, I knew they weren't going to do the hardcore test where the person watches as you go, so the deluxe model wasn't needed.
You just get it anyway at that point. That's
Yeah.
just for funsies.
Sure.
Yeah. You never know when you're going to need a
Yeah.
spare dick.
Yeah.
I had the basic model sent overnight, and it arrived the day of the test.
Oh, wow.
I put it on as instructed about 2 hours before the test and wore my little fake pee fanny pack against my stomach to get the pee up to the correct temperature. I arrived to the test about as nervous as I have ever been. A cute girl took me to the back and instructed me to please give her a sample. As expected, she did not follow me in. So I dumped the sample in, took a deep breath, and came out and handed it to her. After she added some chemicals, watched the sample change color, she looked at me and asked if I wanted to dispute the results. My heart sank as I tried to think of something to say, and she said, I mean, I don't know why you would. You passed. Confused and overjoyed, I told her, no, I don't want to dispute. I then went through with my master plan and told her I accidentally forgot my phone in my car and was expecting an important phone call and asked if I could go retrieve it. She let me, and I went and removed the apparatus, considering she would find it during the subsequent physical.
Right. Yeah.
I bet that happens a lot.
Yeah.
The rest of the test then went without incident, and I still work for the company to this day. I'm pretty sure that this synthetic pee only works on more basic tests. Obviously, if it was a more serious test that they sent off to a lab or something, there was no way this would pass. But needless to say, this little device has paid for itself 5 stars.
People just sending us their Amazon reviews of fake dicks.
Right.
If you got the deluxe model, that would have been a funnier story to explain to the lady.
Yeah, of
Right.
course.
Yeah.
Totally. All right.
I don't know why. Like, I'm weirdly happy that these things work because
Yeah.
I've spent some time reading up on that. Like, I've never been drug tested. I've never had a job that
Really?
required it.
Wait, then why did you guys drug test me?
We just thought it'd be funny.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah. And yeah, so I've never had a reason to look into it, but of course I did at one point, just like research the world of synthetic urine. So there was something about synthetic urine that I just found hilarious as a concept. It was like
you can imagine scientists like, it's not right.
Right,
Can't- we're not there yet.
this is just not like someone just going like taste test. No, it's too bitter. This isn't right. Send it back. And all of them had to sell it for like they were like, you want to buy some fake pee? And then none of them that would say like to pass a drug test. It was just like for whatever you need fake pee for. I don't know. What are you doing?
Maybe you're making a movie.
Maybe you got a fetish. I don't know. Like the implications around it were very good. Fake pee.
Yeah. All right. Last email.
Okay.
If you think synthetic pee is funny, have I got an email for you?
Great.
This email starts, I have a medical card now, so I don't really care if you share my name. This is Joshua from Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
His address is.
I have a story to share after
he's
hearing...
holding.
Yeah, right. After hearing you guys talk about faking drug tests, long ago I had to do just that. As Jeff mentioned, it has...
How many more of these did we get? Was it just the 3?
There were a couple others.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious the percentage of our audience that has had to fake a drug test.
Yeah.
If we get the after show coming up, you want to call in with your drug test
sure.
stories.
As Jeff mentioned, it has to be warm because they have something on the cup itself to measure the temperature. Rather than go with synthetic urine, I had a friend with clean pee help me out.
I've heard of people doing this as well.
Yeah.
I heard the best method was to have him pee in a bottle, then pour it into a condom and hide it in your crotch. The condoms are strong and conduct heat from your body. So I go into the drug test clinic and step into the bathroom.
Not a lubricated, don't get spermicidal. That probably would throw the test off.
That might
Also,
taint.
I would have thought that, you would think that just like being in the latex would taint it somehow, personally. I don't know. I would think you would want a more sterile holder.
Well, I bet that on-the-spot test doesn't really check for much.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I always heard the best method was to just hold it in your mouth.
Yeah.
Wait and just let it out that way.
Yep.
I'm here for the test.
All right. So I go into the drug test clinic and step into the bathroom. I brought a safety pin with me to puncture the condom and put it into the cup.
Yuck.
Turns out safety pins are a bad choice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
I punctured it and only the smallest stream was coming out of the condom as much as I squeezed.
Yeah.
Keep in mind the lab tech is right outside the door.
Yeah.
I stabbed the condom a few more times and still nothing. In desperation, I jam the safety pin in there and start twisting it all around to widen the hole when suddenly the whole condom explodes like a water balloon, covering myself and the floor in my friend's urine.
Yep.
Luckily, enough made it into the cup, but there were no paper towels and you weren't able to use the faucet. So I had no choice but to take off my shirt and use it to mop up the pee all over the floor, then turn my shirt inside out.
I'm out.
The pee is on both sides of the shirt at that point.
I handed the lab tech my sample cup and hoped they wouldn't notice my pee-soaked shirt or the smell. They didn't. I passed the job and got the job.
Nice.
P.S. I'm for reals the guy Ryan narked out at California Extreme.
This sounds exact. Okay, yeah. So he's
Full
learned
circle.
nothing. All right.
Whatever, he's got a card now.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
You must have really needed that job, and I'm glad you got it.
Uh-huh.
Because to put yourself through that sort of thing, like, that sucks.
That's dedication.
Dude, no, that's not dedication. That's a
Well, at that
fucking
point, actually,
last
that's
ditch plan.
Yeah, you know what?
Like
Actually,
the first
that's
story
not-
was like, yeah, you
yeah,
know,
that's
it's
dedication.
right.
like,
That's not dedication. That's crisis management.
Yeah, exactly. That's like, okay, what do we got? Condom. I need your pee.
I need you. Could you imagine saying I need you to pee into this condom for me to any of your friends?
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yes. I could. I'm trying to think who I would go to if I was in a pee crisis.
Yeah, that's a good call. I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
Like, where do you get that?
Especially around here.
Well, yeah. Also, in this day and age, like, who are you gonna trust? Me. I got pee for you.
Clean?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, I knew guys that had to pee for their parole officers and had to get clean pee and borrow pee from other people and stuff like that. But this was the 80s, so I don't know how they would have delivered it because I feel like this was before the cottage industry of fucking strap-on bags and all this other stuff.
Harder to get your hands on a Wizinator at that point.
And whatever. People used to make fucking beer bongs and all these funnels and tube. People were accustomed. I feel like the people that would need to fake a drug test would also know how to make a beer funnel.
Yeah,
that's just
sure.
Maybe that's just me.
Sure.
But
Also, this stuff grosses me out less than those fake tampons you can use to store alcohol in to like sneak into concerts.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay. On that note.
Please no emails about those next week.
Also,
Thank you.
I
Send
feel
all your
like I'm going to
stories.
say if you are like trying to get a dangerous job, try and fucking stay straight.
Yeah.
You know,
Be careful.
don't get into like I don't want to tell people to live their lives, but don't fucking just don't.
Don't put yourself or others at risk
Yeah.
if you can.
Yes. But also, I think drug testing policy is maybe a little ridiculous in this day and age.
Also that, probably.
In some ways.
Bombcast a giant bomb.
I guess I don't want a school bus driver.
Yeah.
Like there are certain jobs where I go like, man,
Yeah, like if you want to be a fucking microdosing CEO taking LSD every morning with your cereal.
I do.
Like, whatever. But yeah.
That's where Elon Musk gets all his ideas.
Let's get into microdosing.
I tripped on LSD and now I'm dating Grimes.
Man. It's funny how that happens. I founded a candy company. How the hell?
I feel like I've seen that T-shirt somewhere,
Store it on Giant Bomb.
and all I got was this T-shirt. Yeah,
All right. That's it for this podcast. You guys are doing an after show?
yeah,
You still have it in you to do an after show?
Oh,
Of course.
yeah.
Now more than ever.
yeah. Rejuvenated.
Just can't wait for the calls that are
Talking
about to
about
come.
American drug testing policy. And,
Can't wait for all the calls that are about to come streaming in.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'll allow
like a
it. All right, I'm in.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's it for this podcast. Stay tuned for the next one. We'll see you then.